DJ Red Alert, Sting International, Kenny Dope. It's all going down at VP Records in Jamaica, Queens. Going to be a big sound system outside, great conversation inside, and of course some crazy giveaways. All right, Video Music Box Takeover VP, April 23rd, Record Store Day.
Prop Master, you was discussing something here?
No, I am in a discussion with this great man right here. We were discussing thing about props. Do you know what the meaning of props is?
Props. Props is like a professor who build ladies. He's always with all the girls. A ruler of all the girls.
That's the way it's going
on? Yeah.
I hear that. You talking with my man Shabba Rank.
Oh, yes, indeed. And we're definitely glad to see him. And you're one of the most awaited people to get to New York. I mean, you perform all the time, and we never get a chance to see you. And finally, you're on Epic Records. Now we're going to see you. We're going to get a video out and all that kind of stuff. What's going on, man? Tell me.
Well, there's a lot of things going on. First and foremost, I just started. Thanks to Epic for accepting me as a member of the family. I'm cool, smooth, yeah, chilling like champagne. Yeah, the deal has been set and things have been produced and it's on the production, it's on the street now, so people will be seeing me live instead of hearing about me.
Now, one of the big things that I've heard on the street is that the Shabba going to get soft when he gets on a big label.
Crazy. I would be soft if there was some changing or some rearranging or, you know, taking 90% of me, but that's why I tell you I'm comfortable with my label. They let me be myself. Yeah, that is the greatest thing.
Have you watched a lot of other artists come out and change their music? How do you feel about that? I mean, you know, there was, I won't name any people, but there was a number of people that came out and all of a sudden they got on major labels and their music changed. Lost the roots.
Well, it's for them. When you're getting yourself in a deal, make sure that you're comfortable and you will not lose yourself. They were bad lucky. They got their deal signed the wrong way. Okay.
Now, Prop Master, you've been playing this cat's records now for 2 years now.
For a couple of years. And I look at it this way, all due respects with Shabba to all the other reggae artists and also with the influence of my man International Sting that also do Sundays on the same station as me. I look at it that it was drawn from one way to another. First, a lot of people didn't realize that hip-hop come from the reggae culture of my man Kool that come from Kingston, Jamaica. And then it was turned back around with my man KRS-One when he came out with the Bridges Over and Stop the Violence, and Master Ceremonies came out with Sexy. So it was like from one flip to another flip, and I saw it was coming in. And all local areas, I saw that all these people, the kids and up to the adults, was relating back into reggae. So reggae went into another form which was always around, but now, like I was saying earlier, it broadened. It's called dancehall.
Welcome to Record Store Day 2022. Ralph McDaniels here at VP Records in Jamaica, Queens. Yes, it's Record Store Day. Let's take a look at that wall over there, and you can go in a little closer, and I'll give you a little play-by-play there on that right there. So these are the sound systems that VP put out a calendar really at the beginning of the year and celebrated all of the major sound systems over the years at VP Records. And you can see King Edwards, Metro Media, Emperor Lord Faith, King Tubby's, Youth Promotion, Gemini Hi-Fi, Ja Love Music, Jack Ruby, all of these different sound systems. If you know, when you go to Jamaica, and let me tell you something about Jamaica, come back to me. You know, the first thing that I noticed when I went to Jamaica, we're gonna come back over here. When I visited Jamaica for the first time, is that everywhere I went, everybody had a sound system. Everybody had a sound system in front of their house. I don't care if it was Saturday, Sunday, whatever it was, you hear some tunes playing. Big speakers. I was saying, where are these people getting all this music from and all these speakers from? But music is that important to Jamaica. And then the food. We can't forget about the food. Of course, the food is amazing. And so we're going to eat today, and we're going to listen to some great music, and we're going to give away some great music, and we're going to do some things with some clothing and do something with the foundation. Like I said, we are here in Jamaica, Queens right now, live. Come on down. 170-19 Jamaica Avenue in the heart of Jamaica, Queens. Been here 40 years, maybe less than 40 years, but Miss Patton will probably break it down how long they've been here in Jamaica, Queens versus when she was on the turntables in Kingston, Jamaica. So we want to make sure that we get it and get her down here and we talk a little bit more about it, get some videos in and get it going. So I think we're going to have some videos playing up soon. No, not yet. Got a couple of videos? Let me know where you repping from. VP Records, Ralph McDaniels, Uncle Ralph. My special guest on the way. Don't worry about a thing. Roadblock already outside. Roadblock. All roads lead to VP Records right here in Jamaica, Queens. Yes, we are here. Video Music Box. I've got some t-shirts. Let me see one of them t-shirts so we can show them what we got, all right? We're going to see one of those t-shirts we could pull up. And let me get one of those t-shirts so I can show them what we're working with. We're going to give away some t-shirts today. No. We're right here. Yeah. Yeah, you could just fling it over here. Yeah. All right. Video Music Box. Yes, we have the t-shirts. We're going to give away some t-shirt today. And we have some for sale as well. The official collector's item, Video Music Box t-shirt. You need to have that in the place. You need to have that in your life. This goes around the world. Of course, celebrating 39 years of Video Music Box. And we're going to do some of that too. So box sets, CDs, all types of things that we are giving away right here at VP Records. And it is super important. And the sound system is live outside. They are doing their thing. They are playing some amazing songs, all vinyl. I think so. That's what they said. I got to go out and check, make sure they didn't pull that laptop out. But all vinyl playing live right here on Jamaica Avenue. And the sun is coming out right now, so it's looking amazing out in the street. So wherever you're at, how's the weather where you're at? Let me know how you're doing out there. I know my people up there where it's cold, it's still cold up there, you know. But you know, up in Albany, up New York, you know, it's a little bit colder up there. In fact, they just had snow the other day. So if you're on the East Coast, you might still be having snow according to where you're at, you know. But here, Jamaica, Queens, I think it's about 65 degrees right here in the place to be. Ralph McDaniels, Record Store Day 2022. We do this twice a year, sometimes, yeah, you know, pandemic. We open up now. That's why it's amazing right now, because of the pandemic. And for those who know, New York was completely shut down. It was completely shut down. You couldn't go out at one time. You know, just starting to open up now and have events outside. As the young people say, we outside. You know, we are doing it. And this is part of the new Jamaica Queens as well. Jamaica Queens is changing. And so we're happy that we are here and have an opportunity to be part of some things that are changing out here in this community. So if you're from Jamaica, Queens, maybe you don't live here anymore, come on out and hang out with us. I'm thinking maybe I should bring in Miss Pat right now. Miss Pat's going to be here all day. We might have to bring Miss Pat in just to have a little conversation. Let's see if we can get Miss Pat to come in and say a few words real quick. Call Miss Pat over. Yeah. Let's see if we can get her to come in and just say a few words, because, you know, she's always working. And, you know, you can't just tell a woman to come on the camera because you have her hair done and everything has to look right. So this is super important that we make sure that we get it, we get Miss Pat right. Hold on. Come in, Miss Pat. Yeah. So we're live in your shop.
Yes, it is indeed a shop.
So for those who don't know, this is an amazing space that you have here. It's a brand new space. This is like an event space, and you've set it up today for the last couple of weeks for the foundation.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, everyone. I'm Patricia, founder of VP Records and Randy's Record. Yes, we have made up this space for the community, whether you want to do a book signing, artwork, anything that is available here for you, for the community. And the proceeds are going to the Vincent and Pat Foundation to give back to musicians, singers, and to just spread the culture throughout the world. We're very happy that everything is opening up, and we're hoping to do a lot of outdoor shows to embrace the culture. Today we are so blessed to have Ralph here, my good friend for many, many years.
Yes.
And just make sure that, you know, he went to Jamaica, fall in love with sound system, brought it back here, and here is it, hip hop and reggae are joining together. What a beautiful reunion, and it's about time. I always feel like unity is in strength, and if we can embrace each other, we will go far. So all the reggae lovers and hip hop lovers, please support us. It's a beautiful culture for both parties, and we continue to do it throughout the state, and to live events. We have Jerk Fest coming up. We have Summer Stage coming up. And Ralph will tell you all that's coming up also.
Yes. Yes. You know, Record Store Day, how long has Record Store Day been going on, Ms. Pat?
I think, it's officially done maybe 5 years, but 2 years since we had the pandemic, we didn't celebrate. But it's officially maybe 5-6 years. And every year throughout the world, yes, this is donated for Record Store Day. In Florida, we have Record Store Day. My other branch is there. And we're happy to bring the community together to celebrate Record Store Day. Very important because that's where we all start. From the little 45 records, come right up to digital, to streaming, and here we are now streaming. So thank you.
And the thing that's amazing too that folks don't know is that you have some selections that not just Caribbean music, they are exclusively some rock records, some pop records that are here, that are gonna be here available for Record Store Day today. So I'm gonna show them a little while, some of the selections that you have, because what happens, and I'll give you just an example, and I didn't know this until Carter told me this, and we're gonna have Carter come on a little later, but Carter told me that, Record Store Day is when the record companies decide certain exclusive records, vinyl, that they're gonna release. And it could be any type of music. It could be jazz, it could be rock and roll, it could be reggae, it could be R&B, hip hop, whatever it is. And they only put out a certain amount, a limited. And VP gets a certain amount, and as well as other stores around the world. So we'll have some exclusive things that we'll let people know. Like you might have like 5 pieces, and that's it. So if just from buying vinyl, you gotta get down to the store fast, so you can get one of those 5. One per customer.
Yes, it is indeed, especially for the collectors. And let me tell you, way back when, the sound system always pay a lot of money to be exclusive. They would go upstairs at the Studio 17 and cut a dub and make sure that it's exclusive, where they can draw that dub with the competition going on. So it's all about be the first to have a disc. And I love the competition in music because it brings life to the music. We didn't use guns, or we use the competition of being a sound system operator. Because in the 50s and 60s, the radio didn't play our music. So the sound system is a big part of the culture.
That's right.
They really put out the music so that the buyers could see the new releases and what's going on. It's always good also for the politician, because when they're doing their meeting, the sound system would be playing there so that the crowd will stay on to listen to the message.
Yeah.
So we have gone way back when.
You know what's funny? I saw a documentary with Bob Marley and the politicians going back and forth trying to make him part of what they were doing. Is that what more you're talking about?
Yes, that was the One Love concert where he brought the two parties together to unite, and it was a beautiful thing. And from that became the song One Love. And One Love is played all over the world. It's our theme song. And I went to Alaska a couple years ago, and there was at the boat side a little 3-piece band welcoming us with One Love way in Alaska. So it just shows how far our music has traveled and how blessed we are to have such a beautiful culture in music.
Yes. So it's Record Store Day 2022. Ralph McDaniels, Miss Pat Chin is here. She is always, just stopping through and make sure everybody's doing their thing, not wasting no time. See, Miss Pat came to check on me to make sure I'm doing my job in here today. I know what's going on, but it's, this is, Pat, Miss Pat, we're going to give away one of these today as a raffle. 40 years of VP Records down in Jamaica, amazing project that you put out. and we're super excited to give one of these away today, as well as some other things that we're going to do. I have some T-shirts. There's some amazing shirts that you have here. Can you tell us about the foundation, because you have some exclusive clothes here? I picked up a Nas and Damien Jr. Gong shirt the other day that, you know, only if you were on tour would you know anything about that.
Yes, we have some selected T-shirts from the artists, and they're like one of a kind. So we have a table full of the T-shirts. So come on down, mix and match, and pick what you like. We have them on sale today. And I want to give a big shout out for Carter. He just came in the door, I see. He was the creator for this box set, and it has enhanced all the sound system and the selective. He made special selection for these records. So Carter will tell you more about the box set, which we're raffling today, and we also have it on sale. So Carter.
When did this come out, Miss Pat?
It came out in October of 2019. So how long? That's 2 years and change.
Oh, well, but the pandemic in between there, right?
Yeah, no, that's why I paused when I said it, is because it's like, has it been that long ago? But yeah, this was like the first big project I worked on when I came to VP, and labor of love. And I always have to thank the Chins for trusting me to tell their story through music, because this was a big job, and you know, all these tracks and all this content, and like really picking the best of the best. You know, it's got 8 vinyl pieces and 4 CDs. And the number of artists representing is kind of mind-blowing when you look back at it. I was just next door with an open copy and showing it to Sting. He hadn't seen inside of it. So I kind of like to, maybe we'll bring an open copy of it.
Yeah. No, you did an amazing job.
Thanks, man.
Amazing job, Carter. You know, so much information, so many stories, so many things that you can learn about this music, and taking it back to, you know, the early days and up to the 90s, right?
Or it comes up to 2018. Really.
Yeah, I see TOK on
there.
Yeah,
man, definitely. So yeah, it's really 77 from when the company moved to New York.
Yes.
And, you know, Randy's in Jamaica started in 58, so they had 20 years of history before
in
Jamaica. And then they come and they become VP Records here in 77, basically. So this is a 40-year story.
Wow. And Ms. Pat, how for people that want to start and get into this record business, how do we do it?
I came here 45 years ago just trying to spread my culture and to tell the world that we have a beautiful reggae music. But it was very hard, very, very hard for the first 10 years. You know, I didn't have any money to advertise, so I just sent out little pamphlets. I would go to Brooklyn 3-4 times with the van to deliver a couple of 45s. And because I spent 20 years on the counter selling at Randy's Record Mart in Jamaica, I was very versed with all the music, all the producers, all the singers, all the versions. So I was very learned with my craft. So sometime when I would do telemarketing, they would say, "Can you put on a man for me?" I said, "Why did you want a man?" Then they realized I knew the music. So the barrier was, they started to trust me.
I was going to say to you, you told me once that some of the guys, you know, they were not being nice, and they wanted a man there, you know, and they didn't believe that you knew all this music. But how did you learn about the music? And I'm just going to tell you something real quick, is that when I was coming up and I was listening to music, and I used to hear dub plates, you know, dubs. And I'd be like, where do you find these records at? Where can I buy these? I didn't know about going to a store like VP or some of the other ones, and I lived in Brooklyn at the time. And then one day I went in and they were like, oh, there's a whole section of songs from Jamaica, from the UK. And I said, I didn't know that this store even existed and you could get these records, because I didn't see them in the American stores that I went to.
Well, when I came here 45 years ago, I brought up all the small producers' music, together with Bob Marley, of course. They knew Bob Marley, but they didn't know Sizzlers, they didn't know too much about Dennis Brown, they didn't know Jammies, they didn't know John Jalas. So many producers, beautiful songs they didn't know. So it was just educational, telling them who is this, and trying to sell a wider scale of music than just a few. So that's how I started. And tell them the story about Jamaica and the culture and how reggae music started. educating them. But on my travels, even in California, they would bring me a vinyl, which is like 20 years ago that they bought for me to sign because they loved it so much.
Yeah.
I went to Mexico and the same thing. They would have a reggae gold 20 years ago. They want me to sign it. So I realized that my music has spread all over the world, and I'm so proud that something started in Jamaica in the early 50s has grown so beautiful that so many people all over the world love reggae music. And of course hip-hop, which is our offspring.
Yes, that's right. Big up to Kool Herc. Big up to Kool Herc.
Yeah, big up to Kool Herc, who gave me a beautiful endorsement
Yes.
on my reggae music journey book. It's 60 years of music that I talked about my journey in Jamaica from 1958, coming to America in 1977.
That's right.
It was a 60 years journey, and thank God I'm still alive to share that story.
We're glad that you are here with us today, Miss Pat. And I know you're going to do some running around. I told everybody, come on down. We have 170-19 Jamaica Avenue. We got some exclusive for all the collectors that are out there. Come on through. We got some special guests in the place that are going to get on with us soon. Tenny Dope, my man Sting International, and Kool DJ Red Alert. And we're going to talk about hip hop and dancehall. And when did that happen? For some people, they tell me, no, Ralph, it was before the 80s and the 90s. We were doing that way before. I'm like, all right. We're going to get some of my friends who really know this business, and they're going to tell you when it really started to pop off, when you started to see, Shaba and Supercat and all of those guys and all those remixes. Look, Beyonce did Baby Boy. Remember that one? That's right. So big hits, coming out of the combination of this music and making it happen right here in the U.S. And I did a couple of videos. Hopefully we'll be able to play some of those videos soon for Supercat and Shaba and others. Big up to all the people that have been part of the scene and all my people from around the world. Let me know where you're at in the world as well.
And big up to you for helping Jamaican culture reach a broader audience. Like, I don't think people always think about the role you play, but you just like...
The visuals.
If there was a crack in the door, you helped widen it, and a lot came through. So
yeah.
Respect.
Well, for those who don't know, we were Video Music Box is the visual side of it, and that's when people started watching music videos a lot. And still, the music still wasn't getting the airplay that it should have gotten. The streets, the kids all were listening to this music, and it still wasn't getting the airplay, maybe once a week on a radio station, but not like now. We have 24-hour streaming of of music. You had to wait till Friday or Saturday or get a good mixtape. That's when mixtapes became really good. But it's important that people know that the directors out there, some of the guys, I come from the visual world, so big up all of those directors who worked on those early music videos and were part of that scene. So many artists that we interviewed in the early days, and we know that TV is what they call broadcast, and it reaches so many people that you don't even know that are watching it from home. They don't come out to the dance hall, they don't go to some of the concerts, but they'll watch that TV and they'll learn a lot about it. So that was important.
I want to give a big shout out for the sound system, who really, when the record wasn't played on the radio, the sound system is the one that really gave the music to the audience.
Yes.
They're a big part of the culture.
100%.
And the wall shows you all the different...
and this is a calendar, right, that you did?
Yeah, of all the sound systems. And you could talk with...
Yeah, no, I mean, the over on the wall, I don't know if the cameras can catch it, but there's a display of the history of Jamaican sound systems. It's illustrated by an artist named Konstantinos Pistorius. He's actually from the island of Cyprus, and he's a huge fan of the sound system. Again, it shows you how globally the interest is in this music, that somebody from far off would have this passion. And he's a trained graphic designer, and he illustrated this kind of like comic book vibe of sound system history, and we put them on display here at 17021 Jamaica Avenue, and we made our calendar a year ago to feature these works. So it's just the story told in pictures.
Well, what's amazing to me is that calendar, and also the calendar, Miss Pat, that you did for the women in reggae music too.
Yes, in 2002 we honor all the female singers from Rita Marley come right up to Spice. And it's a beautiful calendar showing the history of the female in the music industry. And way back when they were only backup singers, now we have forefront with Jana in the town and so many more, Spice, Coffee, that's doing their thing. You know?
Toast, I love that tune, yeah.
Not only singing, they have other things to bring to the table.
Yeah.
So in health and wellness, yoga class, whatever they do well.
Wait a minute, isn't Spice on a reality show?
Big reality star.
Yeah. Big up to Spice. Congratulations, you did your thing this year. Big up to everybody out there doing their thing. We're gonna see if we can get some more videos, get some videos played, but we're gonna take a break. I'm gonna bring in some other folks, and I know you guys will be back. Miss Pat, you know, not just because you the mom here, but you could get one of the young ladies. We're gonna need some jerk chicken a little later on. You know, just not just because you're the lady. That's not why I'm saying. Don't hold it against me, Miss Pat. Don't hold it against.
You're forgiven. You're forgiven.
But nobody's gonna understand. Like I can't tell that to a man right now.
Okay. Thank you. Record Store Day is today. Record Store Day, big all over the world.
Yes.
Record Store Day, celebrate it. It's worth celebrating. We have come a long, long, long way.
Shama, yeah, blood. Come go upstairs, man, cause no really want an argument with nobody today. Now, come on.
I don't want to go upstairs yet. I want to play with my friends. I can see the butterfly. The butterfly. The butterfly.
Hey! Listen to this.
Well, Vagabonds is definitely against violence.
You know when BDP come through, you know how we do.
Why want to take up a clown?
Big up Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Queens.
And them don't know.
Vagabonds. Let's go.
Check it. Didn't have to bust that gun today. Didn't have to kill no one today. And so I can almost safely say that today was a good day. Didn't have to rinse my Glock today. I could have keep my alarm locked away. And so I could have get one more chance to pray and be with him family. But if a guy should have decided tomorrow, it's gonna be pain and sorrow. Cause when I make no guy get thirsty and bright, tell them say nothing I go so. Rude boy now behind a borrow, to expose a guy brain and marrow. So a fool better careful with him like I live it right, because when the road boy start turn on hit and him sounded I must bunk up the OC. Fear and identify that body. Police and I discover all about the city. When we start this mangle guy body, all those he feel nauseous and giddy. Big man of a bit of them all I get dizzy. Try and live a report a guy belly. Find out them have them life I want give me well. Road boy me we take it gladly. Friends and family miss them sadly. So if you want to this no matter with it anyway. Didn't have to bust that gun today. Didn't have to kill no one today. And so I can almost safely say that today was a good day. Didn't have to rinse that clock today. I could have keep my alarm locked away. And so I could have get one more chance to pray and be with him family. But anyhow a guy feel him lucky. I want run up and down like a puppy. When we were ramp with him and make cook up a shot from me gun and him chest play stucky. And if a chance play a win him chucky. And we return any guy in a duppy. And so a fool better relax and think twice. Cause we will take him life and not trust me. Me nah run joke just and not jive. 9 in a me gun and the whole of them life. Fool you woulda stand a better chance to survive. If you dash where your parachute and the skydive. I coulda not him a gun have Bonnie and Clyde. No guy not this way and still be alive. And even if you run go in Africa guide, where we band your village and done the whole tribe. So anyhow you see we dey on the right side. Walk on the left, full try for your fight. Cause anyhow you this you surely go slide. In a the black earth you a go get a try right, but didn't have to bust that gun today. Didn't have to kill no one today. And so I can almost safely say that today was a good day. Didn't have to reach that clock today. I'm gonna keep the alarm locked away. That's how I punk get one more chance to
men working on the chain. Yeah, yeah. That's the sound of the men working on the chain. Yeah. Well now, let's go upstairs or maybe underground, because the subways, they run all over town. Whatever the outcome, so be it. I'm gonna tell it exactly how I see it. Rolling on some noisy wheels, I call the big bangers. This is dedicated to all shot hangers. If you're lucky enough to get a seat, and those who ride hanging on or standing on 2 feet. Yo, 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 wait up, my man, please hold the doors. Haha, now where have I heard that before? Jetpack back to back, but you can't complain, cause that's how you're living on the subway train. Come on! That's the sound of the men working on the chain. Yeah, yeah. That's the sound of the men working on the chain. Yeah. Come on! That's the sound of the men working on the chain. Yeah, yeah. That's the sound of the men working on the chain. Yeah. Brighton Beach or Times Square, they'll go anywhere. Don't get arrested, come on, pay your train fare. Back in the days it was fun, but in retrospect it was dumb. I used to ride on the roof and in between cars, and if I ever fell I'd see northern stars. Yes, from Coney Island straight up to White Plains, that's what I used to do, taking the train. That's the sound of the men working on the chain. Yeah, yeah. That's the sound of the men working on the chain. Yeah. All kinds of people I'd meet, just about anybody. I'd give my seat, begging women, old people. It didn't matter who. Oh yeah, and you know there was some fine girls too. Yes, I didn't rock no gold, but I didn't play the role. And getting all the phone numbers satisfied my soul. From Susan, Sandra, Patsy, and Mary Jane. Yeah, I met them all on the subway train. Come on, that's the sound of the men working on the chain. Yeah, yeah. That's the sound of the men working on the chain. Yeah. Come on, that's the sound of the men working on the chain. Yeah, yeah. That's the sound of the men working on the chain. Yeah. I know that everybody relates to this. You gotta admit, rush hour is a bit much to deal with, especially after a hard day's work. Pickpockets on the loose, so you gotta stay alert. With guardian angels and cops, you'll be safe even after your stop. Boy, but life just wouldn't be the same if you have to live without the subway train. Yes. That's the sound of the men working on the chain. Yeah, yeah. That's the sound of the men working on the chain. Yeah. That's the sound of the men working on the chain. Yeah, yeah. That's the sound of the men working on the chain. Yeah. Excuse me, good evening. My name is Arnold Perduki Bozak Jimbrowski III. I'm currently taking up collections from my next door neighbor's aunt, sister, uncle, niece's nephew, who's currently trying to make their way through college. Anything you can give out of the kindness of your heart will be greatly appreciated. Thank you and have a nice evening. Thank you. Thank you. That's the sound of the men working on the chain. Yeah, yeah. That's the sound of the men working on the chain. Yeah. That's the sound of the men working on the chain. Yeah, yeah. That's the sound of the men working on the chain. Yeah. That's the sound of the men working on the chain. Yeah, yeah. That's the sound of the men working on the chain. Yeah.
Welcome back, VP Records, Ralph McDaniels, Record Store Day. Look, we are in Jamaica, Queens, 170-19, Jamaica Avenue in Jamaica, Queens, VP Records, Record Store Day. And I think about records, only a few people, well, I shouldn't say not now, because records are back. Vinyl is back. And we have in the place, of course, Kenny Dope on my side. On this side, we have Kool DJ Red Alert. We're gonna bring Sting in a minute. Don't worry, Sting. Sting is like, wait, what's going on? Because Sting got all the details. We gonna get to Sting in a minute. Sting got all the details. But look, I'm happy first of all to bring you guys together, or us together, who have been doing this for so long, and vinyl and hip hop and dancehall and reggae and the importance of it to the world. And you know, I'm going to start with Kenny and then we're gonna work to how we got to Red.
Okay.
And then you Puerto Rican from Brooklyn.
Yes, sir. Sunset Park.
Sunset Park. Please believe it. It's real out there. And you all of a sudden start getting into this music thing. Let's say, first of all, how did you get into the music? And then how did you start playing around with these beats and reggae?
Well, I got into the music in 1980. I was 10, but in 85, I started working in a record store in Sunset. So that's basically how I got into all the different genres, because in order to get the job at the store, the criteria was, look, you need to sell records and you need to learn about all this music across the board. Me being young and into hip hop and reggae, I was like rock and this and that, but to find out later on, that's where all the breaks were. So being a beat head, I found a lot of the breaks in the soul records and in the rock records and things like that. So that's when my palette started to grow and the interest in music, period. But being from Sunset was great because it was a melting pot. It was all different types of people that lived in the area. And like I said, having to sell this music, we had hip hop, we had soul, funk, we had the electro music at that time. The house music was coming in at that time in '85, and the dancehall.
Yeah,
so that's when it was happening.
When you work in a record store, you get all different types of people. They want whatever it is that they're looking for. It could be country music, it could be
and you have to know it. They come in singing a tune, you're like, okay, what's that? You know what I mean? You got to pull it out.
Right.
So
All right. So the dance hall. My first connection with you, and it may be before this, was hearing like the super the Dandada, those blends, and I think Louis Rankin,
the Blood Vibes one.
Give them some titles so they know that was you.
Well, yeah. So let me tell you how that started originally. Those were transition records for us. That's how when we did our parties, we would transition from a disco classic record into the next phase. So originally, that's how they were made. But then at that same time, I was going to see Louis, and Louis was playing at Roseland, and he was playing across the board as well too.
So those who don't know, Louis Vega, your partner,
Vega, right?
Masters
My
at
partner
Work.
that ended up to be the crew Masters at Work. But Louis was playing at Roseland, and in Roseland he was playing Special Ed, and he was playing Tribe Called Quest, and he was playing the freestyle records at that time, and he was also playing the reggae records at that time. So me being in the club and being a kid, I'm like thinking of that transitional all the time. That's how I did the Blood Vibes record, which I took Junior Reed and mashed it up with Tribe's record, Bonita Applebum, the drums from that. And it just started to grow, and I gave it to Red. That's where the link is. Red has it. And then he started playing it, and then I said, okay, well, Louis Rankin came out.
Right.
Let me take that piece and put it together, and I did a little mashup with that. Gave it to Red again, and then it just,
But wait, what made you, well, you know what it is? I know what
it was the hip-hop
You're
side.
from Brooklyn, too.
Brooklyn, the hip-hop side, but again, fusing the two and seeing the dance floor of what was happening when he played Junior Reed One Blood,
right?
When he played the Tribe record,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So,
but everybody wasn't on that reggae like that. Only certain pockets in Brooklyn and the Bronx, and because you might be uptown in Harlem, Red. Come on, you from 116th, 110.
Yes.
You might not be able to play all those records that we was playing in Brooklyn and in the Bronx.
Right.
Not at all. Like you say, in different pockets that according to wherever the family was staying at, that's where everything was rising. All within the Brooklyn section, up there around White Plains and in the Bronx, even in Bricktown, that part over there in Queens.
Oh, yeah.
But as time go by, I could see that people were still being influenced by the Caribbean sound. And when they came to the hip hop, you heard some people that was either had like a person that was on a song with them. I forgot, either Fat Boys or Run DMC. I think they had
Fat Boys did. Oh yeah.
And then also both of them had some reggae tunes on their album cuts. But when you start having songs that was a 12-inch, that was the present record,
like, you know, Sexy by Master of Ceremonies,
Right.
and then
Influences,
you
bro,
had
yep.
the Caribbean sound of The Bridge Is Over, and then there was another album cut that I remember that Special Ed had on his first, you know. So each place had, and then, you know, I started getting the early Shine Head, you know, and then that would make me dabble more into looking upon the other artists, because one thing I learned, and I know I can state this, number one, Louis, you know that you say Puerto Rican, but you Caribbean also.
Of course,
right? You
of
know,
course.
rice and peas and rice, you all in the same.
Of course, of course.
Put it this way. At one point in time, people wanted to scrutinize anybody from the Caribbean. They used to downplay us, talk bad at us, talk about you people, you coconut, such and such a thing. So
Kids can be
it was
very
at one
cruel.
point that people shied away, not letting nobody know what their background was. But once I start playing these sounds in the clubs, I start seeing how everybody start feeling proud about themselves and come out and express where they from and who they about.
Right.
You know? And that gave me more of a drive to keep on digging more and more.
People start doing the gunshots when you start playing some of them tunes.
Forget it, you know. And then by me, like I say, a lot of people didn't know that, you know, I'm from Antigua. You know,
Yes.
I came over here at age 5. So being raised by my grandparents in the household,
Yes.
my older brother, rest in peace, he just passed away. He was always a record collector. You know, he bringing all different genres of music, but at the same time, we also had the calypso, merengue, and soca in there.
Yes.
So I was always, as a youth, listening to a little bit of everything. So, you know, when you getting older and you adapt to what you had learned from when you was young, and then you catch the bug watching various DJs and learn how to DJ yourself, you implement them sounds. And when the hip-hop got dominant with who I just mentioned, Master Ceremonies and Boogie Down Production, it gave me another platform to rise it up.
Well, you know, I just amazed that you had the audacity and the heart to put that out, matching those two sounds together, because nobody was really doing that before that. I mean, you talk about Shinehead, he was doing something.
Yeah, well, when he played the Shinehead record, it was there's a certain vibe there that you feel, you know what I mean? And with kids, you know what I'm saying? It was just trial and error, you know what I mean? And again, it was those things to kind of segue different situations. They were on reel to reels at first, you know what I mean? That's how we used to play them. I wasn't making no dub plates.
Wow.
Didn't have the money for dub plates.
Right, yeah, that cost you about
$50.
Didn't have it. That was a lot of money.
So, you know, at 16 years old, so we were putting them on reel to reels.
Right,
You know what I mean?
And by Kenny making them type of songs, them records, you know, I always consider you gave me the ammunition to go forth and program that for the massive to listen to what is it that he produced.
Did it open up the palette of the program directors there at the time? Because they already was, you know, there was a limit on how much reggae could be played, and Sting will talk about that. And there was a limit on how much hip hop could be played, but then you kind of mashed it up together. Did it make it a little easier for them to accept it?
It was going at a slow pace. It was going at a slow pace. I remember when I first started playing dancehall, I was playing like maybe 20 minutes into my show. And then I kept on growing and growing. And then when they expanded my show from 7 to 12, I used to have 1 hour of the show just within dancehall. Because at that time, I had collected a good package.
Yes.
But meanwhile, they never stopped me from playing.
Yes.
They allowed me to go forth. But at the same time, I think they identify in him that the audience want to hear more of this during daytime part.
Okay. And the other thing too is that you guys both you listen to what's going on in the club. Kenny's playing in the club. He's creating music for the club. The frequency of what it sounds like. Because you know, when I listen to some of those early transition records, like you call them, maybe some people might call them party breaks, like that beat was pounding. It was hitting that speaker hard. You know, how did you figure it out? Or that was just your signature?
Just like the beats. You got to think about at that time, you know, you had all these different groups and producers putting out really hard records for that time.
Right.
808s was banging. Like, so, you know, the Jeeps, the sound systems in the Jeeps back then were, you know, so you wanted that to feel a certain way riding down the block.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So in a club with a sound system, then it's even that much more enhanced.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I've always been beat driven. I love drums. Like I said earlier, the breaks, always into break beats. You know what I mean? And coming up in that with that recipe,
yeah,
it's in there. You know what I mean? And also a lot of things is like when I did the Super record that had the Louis Rankin in it. It was a collage of different things. Brand Nubians, there was a little piece of Brand Nubians in there. There was Tribe. Those records were happening at that time. So it was like, you know, you could play it, give them a little taste of it, and then bring in the real record.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the groups, they understood it at that time as well too. It wasn't like I was jacking them.
Right.
They didn't feel that way.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right. It was like Fat Man Scoop in a way. Like he just fit in. Don't let Fat Man Scoop rap on your record because he's just gonna hype it up even more.
But Kenny, as creative as you was doing everything, you wasn't acknowledging that you was bridging the audience.
Right.
That's what you was doing. You was just busy in your mode making it happen.
Right.
But you was bridging the audience that everybody can associate to one common goal.
That's dope. Yeah. I didn't think of it that way. Yeah.
Well, no, yeah, because like Red said, you know, all of a sudden, a guy who maybe comes from the Caribbean, who, you know, it's hard when you come from somewhere else. You know, immigration. You know, kids in high school treat you a bad way. They, you know, high school can be cruel, man. And if you got any kind of little accent, it don't sound like them. They teasing you and doing whatever, so people don't really talk too much. But in the club, you know, everybody feels good, and then when they hear something that they really know it's their roots, and it's in the mix of what American kids is doing, it was amazing. You know, so yeah, that part is why I wanted to have this conversation, and you know, that's why we're here at VP Records, because VP, you know, is, you know, they've been in this location for a long time, but started in Kingston, Jamaica, and brought some of those early records. I was said it a little earlier. I used to hear, you know, I grew up in Brooklyn, and I used to hear dub plates and, you know, just dub records, no vocals on it, just ding, 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 ding. And I'd be like, what is that? Like, the bass used to just get my attention. And then when I go to my, you know, Beach Street or any of the stores back then, the Wiz or whatever store, they never had any of those records. And I'm like, where do you find these particular songs at?
But to answer to that, being at the store, there was a period that we were trying to get the reggae stuff in. This is where we came.
From VP.
The distribution, and then we got through the distribution, and they were sending us all the stuff, and we were not far,
right?
But at that time, that's how I started to learn about all the artists, all the different, you know,
rhythms,
MCs, the rhythms, and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But being in the store for me was everything. That's what got me where I am today, because of all the music that came through there and everything I learned about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So you know, I want to save some of this conversation for Sting, but the UK and the Jamaica sound is different. The sound that comes out.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
It's a different vibe.
Definitely is. Yeah, because same for other different sections, like up there in Canada just as well.
Yes.
You know, like the energy, it's just like in the present days of hip hop. You have all different types of sounds of hip hop. You have all different types of sounds of Caribbean music. It's how the energy come across. It's how they flow. It's how they present it. It's how it's produced. You know, you may look at it all as on the one thing, which is honestly true, but there's a difference according to how they bring it across the table.
I think also being the melting pot in New York helped it elevate it so much more further, just because of all the, like you're saying, all the different, the sauce, all the ingredients of people and all that makes New York what it is and makes the sounds what it is. The artists see things in a certain way. They're gonna attack a beat a certain way. You know what I mean? The DJs were brought up to play music, not this whole genre-driven thing that's one style. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we learned from you guys and everybody that before us to play like that, to play different music in the sets. So coming up with that and seeing that, I translated into the records.
We had learned to push the envelope, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, we took them chances.
But it helped being here.
Right.
Food, the
right.
cultures, just everything. You
the
know?
talk, the vibe, the way you wear your hat, the colors. You know, like, you know, I can clearly remember when I first moved out here and I started to literally learn about Jamaican culture and see more people from Jamaica, like it was a whole different vibe. They was wearing different types of boots. Right. The way they was wearing they jeans was, I was like, okay, it's the colors. You know, all of it was a different vibe. But like you say, New York, we all meshed in together.
Yes. yes. And you know, I think it was a great time because a lot of people seem to forget that in the 80s, it was a big time diversity in music. You know, and I know we are speaking upon on Caribbean music, but even from the earlier stages that we was listening to some of the early Madonna records, Hall Notes and David Bowie, and we just always kept our ears open for what's the next happening thing. And that led into, like, from the mid to late 80s, here it come within the dance hall.
Yes.
That's it. Because the dance hall at that particular time was the youth sound of Caribbean music.
Yes. Well, you know, we're gonna get Sting on here in a little while. He's gonna, I'm not sure if he believes in what dancehall is. It's reggae. It's reggae. It's reggae or it's not. But I'll let Sting tell his story. But this, you know, you watch it, you go around the world. You hear the music. Just for the people that don't know, that don't get a chance to travel around the world like you do, you know, just give us an idea how far this music has gone. I mean, just that mix too.
Listen, when you start getting those publishing checks and start seeing where they coming from,
tell them, give them examples.
All these names you can't pronounce, then you're like, okay, yeah, we got there, you know.
So that means the grandkids gonna be all right.
Exactly, you know. But no, music reaches places that we could never imagine. Something that Todd Terry always told me, he's like, look, if you want to travel, make records, because those records will go places and they will bring you there. And it's so true, because all these countries, throughout all these years, throughout my 30 years of doing this, it's amazing to see how far music travels.
Wow.
And how beautiful it is to say, oh, wow, I'm in Benelux, I'm in Amsterdam, and I'm in New Zealand, and I'm, you know, it's crazy.
And what's so funny you say that, because you say you're traveling around, Ralph. Like I say, we push the envelope here where we live at.
Yeah.
People on the outside where we live, they look at us as the trendsetters.
Yes.
Because we push it and we go hard.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's New York. You know, New York is still looked at, and I tell young people this all the time. You know, you have a gift. You live in New York. People around the world want to know what you're doing, because New York's still looked at in that way as trend-setting. I mean, the world's getting a little closer because of the internet, but New York still has this thing, you know, that, you know, like Kenny said, we're all meshed up here, and what comes out of that is amazing.
We're all one. Yeah. We're all one. At the end of the day, we're all one. You know,
right,
and that's what it is. You know.
I want to ask you all about Record Store, because it is Record Store Day. If you're just checking in, Record Store Day 2022. Red, what are some of the early record stores that you went to that, you know, you were addicted to, and you had to go there and spend all your summer check money on?
Oh man! Well, once I started DJing, and I used to work down in the Garment District on 35th Street between 7 and 8. So we came to check day. I was going right around the corner of the disco mat.
Oh wow!
You know, and disco by the time I was. And then also, you know, Rock and Soul was right there.
Yeah.
But when I was working down in Wall Street, I was always going to Bondi's.
Bondi's, yes.
You know, and then you remember how it was up and down. I forgot that strip that's in Wall Street, where it's all the fashion and clothing. Every place had, like, you know,
yes,
a record store. Store. That's when 12 inches was very popular.
Yes.
12 inches was what? $2.99, $3.99.
Yeah,
$99. That's what we sell them for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kenny, what's some of the early stores besides the one that you worked in?
Music Factory.
Yeah.
Music Factory on 42nd.
Rest in peace, Stan.
Stan, that's where I bought a lot of beats and learned a lot about the breaks as well, too. And used to stay open late.
Right.
B Street was another store for me. Rock and Soul, like Red said. Downstairs Records for 45s.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it was actually upstairs, and downstairs, and upstairs.
Yeah.
Downtown Records for club stuff.
Yes.
Vinyl Mania as well.
Yeah.
There was a lot of.
I mean, you could find vinyl back then in
every corner.
Corvettes.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so people don't know nothing about that.
A lot of people forgot about
How about Maze?
Maze, right?
Wow, you went there.
Right, a maze a block away from where we are right here, right now. There was a maze, and you could go in there and buy.
In Times Square area where like the A and the C train is at, there was a record store down in that section too. Because that's where I remember I found that old record by Baby Huey with this Listen to Me. I found it right, huh? Listen to Me. I found it right there in that record store down in that train station.
How excited are you that they have a record store day right now that is coming back? Because you continue to put vinyl out. Tell us about some of the releases that you still put out, you know, on your own K-Dope and Dope Wax and that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, you know, we pretty much never stopped. You know what I mean? Constantly doing 45s and 12 inches and stuff like that.
And they're expensive. They're not cheap like they used to be. They ain't $2.
The thing is, the cost of pressing is crazy. Like, you know what I mean? But no, Record Store Day is dope. Just a celebration of the day.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And stores. You know, and it's kept the tradition going. And now it's just gotten really big again. You know what I mean? Where vinyl is outselling, you know, a lot of formats right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? And there's a lot of stuff being repressed and a lot of new music coming through. So it's a good thing.
Besides going in there and buying records, we used to always, you know, be able to communicate with each other and talk to other people about what was going on in their life. Record stores were like a meeting place, and how you found out about maybe parties that were going on or release parties that were happening, all these type of things that would, conversations that would happen in the record store were amazing.
But how many friends did you meet in a record store?
Yes.
To this day that you're still good with?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So record store itself was a meeting place for like-minded people.
That was our country club.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, how many acquaintances, how many artists did you meet? You know what I mean? So many different people.
Yeah.
You know?
A lot of business was formed out of record stores.
Exactly.
I would meet guys that I heard about, like from the Bronx, 'cause I'm a Brooklyn, Queens guy, and no, give me one of the other ones, and I would be like, oh, like I met Flash, you know, like that's Flash. I heard about him, I never saw Flash, right. Or you know, or maybe you know, like, oh, that's Kenny Dope. Oh, okay, cool. You know, did you have that experience as well?
Oh, so many, because, you know, like I say, I was going to Disco Matter and Rock and Soul. There was DJs that was coming out of Brooklyn as well as Queens that you heard the names, but now you get to see the face with the names. And then, you know, you be amazed because I was up and coming at that time, so I'm looking at the people who was before me.
Wow.
And you whisper to that person, yo, that's DJ Plummer.
Right.
Yo, that's Charisma.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, and you just watch them. And then what we always do, all of us, we trying to see what they picking to see if that's the record that we supposed to pick. Or they go ahead to the little turntable and it's like E.F. Hutton. Everybody listen. Because we want to see, is she getting that? Then we need to go get that.
Right.
You know?
And he want 2 copies of it. I need to buy 2. Oh, okay.
Definite. Yeah.
Did you have that experience as well?
Well, the crazy thing is that when I was coming up, especially with the beats, talking about downstairs you would go and each of the kids that worked there had their own customers. Mm-hmm. And they were whole beats for their own customers.
Yes.
So you had to right?
Yes.
So you had to get in somehow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was no listening to see what he was playing because you know what? You wasn't getting that stack.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that was my.
They have it in a rubber band underneath the shelf waiting for you.
So that's how I learned just by looking exactly the rubber band. Yep.
And also for some of the hip hop guys, you know, in the beginning, you know, there wasn't a turn like now. If you go to vinyl stores, they have a turntable set up and you can play the records. Hip hop guys, especially break guys like you, would want to sit there and look for the break in each record. And we're like, yo, play the song, bro.
Right,
Stop
right.
messing around with it. But you guys were going in there and like, I know there's a break here somewhere. We're like, oh, this guy's going to be here all day, man.
I think that, you know, in the beginning of the culture, there was like the basic break beats that you all was going for. But then people like Kenny and Q-Tip and many others, y'all went further. Y'all dug deeper than the norm and listened to various songs and learned them in little intricate parts what you're looking for. You know, we was just always, okay, we heard that 16 bar or that 8 bar or that drum roll, that pattern. Oh, we was good with that, but y'all went a little deeper certain things to implement when y'all produce.
But the crazy thing is, it was by mistake, because we're looking for the originals of some of the stuff that was on the breakbeats, right? But the titles were wrong. Oh, this was wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you would bump into other stuff looking for those records. So it was just all trial and error.
All right, so hold on. Thinking of that, I want to bring Sting in before you got, 'cause I know Kenny's on his tight schedule. Sting, come on in here for a second. Can you move over? We're gonna
Yes,
let
sir.
Sting sit here. Big up to Sting International. One of my friends for a very long time, and super producer. And
up here?
Oh man, come on!
First time I got to meet Sting, here it is. Jay Mixon Dixon had brought him into the station.
Yes.
When I was on, and I forgot what he stated, but he caught my attention. I I forgot what he said, but I just kept moving on.
I was joking. It was some reggae dancehall. We'll get into that too. Y'all got me saying it now, and I was laughing. I'm like, yeah, what you know about that? But you don't know I know is the history already. So I think he was taken aback a little bit. But we're good.
Look, we talked about how the sound of New York, how it meshed together, and that I think was how you get a place like Underground and these clubs and other clubs that started. When did you start going out? I remember you just playing reggae music in the beginning.
I'm a disco baby.
Yeah, I know, but I just remember when I first got my attention came to and Big Bob in the roller skating ring.
Right. Well, I'm known more for reggae earlier because, as being a disco kid, when you're coming up and then house music just came about.
Yeah.
Garage and those clubs like that we used to go to.
Yeah.
In order to get in, it was almost like you got to be part of the crew.
Right.
And I wasn't down with being that part of the crew.
Got you.
So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to take my disco skills and apply it to reggae with the mixing and the blending.
Yes.
And bring reggae in a different style.
Yes.
So I went the reggae route. Love People, Village Hut, Empire, and stuff like that. And
these were the early clubs, just so he mentioned, because he'll run through some stuff and people are like, what just happened?
Yeah, these are the Mecca, the Mecca of reggae, really, and Brooklyn was Love People 1.
Yes.
That's DJ Carlton, DJ Paul. That's where reggae really made its statement, Then we had Village Hut, Empire Inn up the block, which was across the street from Empire Skating Ring.
Right. Which
originally was Club Illusion. It was Club Illusion first, then it was Empire Inn first, then Club Illusion.
Yes.
That's actually what my first weekly residency was.
And there was an amazing sound system in there.
Yes.
For a roller skating ring.
Well, Empire was originally done Richard Long, and so was Love People 1.
Yes.
And Studio 54, the garage.
Yeah, the same people that did the sound in these places, Studio 54 did their sound there. I remember going to Empire Roller Skating Ring, and Cher was there doing a release party.
Right.
The artist Cher,
right.
And that's how long I had been going to the roller skating ring.
Yeah.
And you have always been, and for many, it always amazed me about a lot of the Jamaican sound systems. They really care about sound. Sound is so important. Like, they don't want to walk in no club and the sound don't sound right. Can you DJ around the world? I'm pretty sure there's some specs that have to go along with it. Yeah. Red, you gotta have the sound right?
Hey, it gotta be right or nah.
Not happening.
Sometimes we don't even want to go near the set.
That's right.
Because it sounds crazy. They looking at the DJ, what you doing?
Yeah.
That's what it was. Had to be right.
Talk about the artist sound.
The artist, well, I was born into sound because my mother was a record collector, always into hi-fi. Everybody, family, everybody who was around was about sound.
Yes.
So growing up around that from the home from birth, and then having Empire across the street,
yes,
and Love People across the street down the block,
yes,
it was always about sound.
Yeah.
So it was never not about sound. So when it came to playing out, anywhere I was playing, it had to be right.
Yeah.
You know, and that's even if it's, and I grew up in Ebbsfield, born and
Yeah.
raised.
Yes.
So even when we did the house parties, we had to have the speakers right.
That's
it
right.
was all about the sound.
Yeah.
You know.
And you know, and that's the thing about certain areas, you know, or especially that area right there. It was a crossroad. Like you talk about house music, or back then, you know, it was danceable R&B records or whatever they were. You know, there was so many different things, such a different range of stuff that we would go to a dance and listen to. It wasn't just we went to there to hear hip hop. You went there when somebody played Love Is the Message, we all knew that was it, okay?
Right.
Or somebody played a Bob Marley tune, that was it, you know, whatever it was. What is your first impression of hearing music, hip hop and reggae or dancehall mashed together? And maybe you were part of that.
Well, I mean, they was always experimental, you know. Sexy. Was it Don Barron?
Yeah, Master of Ceremony.
Yeah, you know, you
Don
had
Barron.
those, you know, The Bridge Is Over.
Many say was the beginning of where Heavy D got his style, Don Barron.
Okay.
Many say
Yes, One Diddly Diddly, which is actually reggae.
Yeah, yes.
You know?
Heavy D's Jamaican.
Right.
Don Barron's Jamaican.
So records like that, Bridge Is Over, which kind of like borrowed a little bit of boops, boom, 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 boom,
Yes.
boom, you know, Feel Like Jumping, original Marcy Griffiths, if we go back into the history of it all. But a lot of that stuff was just being done experimental, little tastes here and there.
Yeah.
So which was good because we already knew
Yes.
where it was coming from. As far as the reggae side, we had, I think it was Alton Irie, was a cut called Speed Rapping. Where he was actually rapping, on reggae. I think it's on Joe Gibbs' label.
Okay.
So it wasn't that fantastic.
Right.
But, you know, you could see that.
It's like the Fatback Band is supposed to be the first rap record, but we wasn't really playing that.
Kington III, right, exactly, right. So these are early stages of being experimental.
Yes.
You even had I'll Do Anything For You, Denroy Morgan.
Right.
Which kind of put that reggae style on like funky disco.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Shake It Up to the Boogaloo.
Right.
You had all these records from the
Rod.
late 70s, exactly.
Yes.
80s already happening. So the next generation was already, and then the cultures were mixed.
Yes.
Streets. We all went to school together. We was in the projects, families who came in, who was born here. So it was bound to mesh.
So when do you go in the studio and start what's your first record that you make?
I don't remember.
All right, what was the first?
Well, the thing is, I was doing records from home. The Pose Off with Red Fox and Screechy Dan.
Yes.
Pose Off.
That he actually had on his Prop Master album. I did that in my bedroom.
Wow.
The remix.
How did that come about that it was on your album?
Oh,
you heard
here
it?
it is that we were searching for various tunes that we wanted to play on the album. And that I forgot how we made that connection. I can't tell you directly how we made that connection, but it happened to wind up being on there, and I was happy.
Yeah, he actually has 4 of my songs that I did. Red Fox and Naturally.
Yes.
Let's Chill. And I think Silver's on there. I
Yes.
just looked at the album the other day. I'm like, oh wow, there's 4 records on there.
So what made was this an independent label or just major label?
That was on Epic.
Epic, yes. Epic.
That was on Epic.
On Epic Records.
Yeah.
It's a major label. Epic becomes very important later on when it comes to, you know, the late 90, 93, 94.
About 90, either 90 or 91.
Oh, okay. Even
Signed in
first.
Shaba?
Shaba.
Yeah.
Yes.
About 90, 91.
But it led me to get a compilation album.
Wow. So okay, but before Shaba's there and before Supercat is there, you know, you guys are doing, you know, playing around with this stuff. What's there before that?
As far as what, playing out?
Dancehall, reggae, hip hop sounds. Like what's connecting you to that side? I mean, Shinehead was what? Is he 80s?
Shinehead is late 80s, yes.
Late 80s?
Rough and Rugged came out late 80s.
Right. I mean,
which he's definitely one of the ones that
Amazing.
did it right.
Yeah.
There was a lot of experimental.
Yeah.
But Shinehead did it right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's Shinehead, right. That's one of the first really well done rap on reggae.
Yes.
Later on you had Scringer Ranks and stuff like that, but Shinehead was really the first.
And Shinehead was
Bring it
in
home.
the hip hop spots.
Absolutely.
Like he had Gonzales on.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and some Adidas.
Well, yeah, he brought
Rockstar shades.
Yeah, he brought the Run DMC to reggae.
Right. Exactly.
So that's again the mixing of cultures.
So let's talk about Shaba, because You told me a lot of these records were recorded in the New York area, and I'm like, nah, it was recorded in Kingston, bro. What are you talking about?
A lot of reggae hits that people think were done in Jamaica were done right in New York.
How did that happen?
Because you had Philip Smart, HCNF Studios, who's actually my teacher.
Yes.
He was actually a student of King Tubby.
Okay.
Same thing like King Jammies.
Yes.
Both students of King Tubby. So Philip had a dream and a vision.
Yes.
And he came to do a studio in New York.
Uh-huh.
To expand the music.
So he came from Jamaica.
Yes.
Set up shop in New York because was it just that he just wanted to be in New York and he
had a vision for the
It was
music.
going to be more money. Money drives people, you know.
No, I feel it was the love of the music.
Okay.
It was definitely the love.
Got you.
So he created the studio, and this is where everybody started to record because the quality was there.
But Shaba lives in Jamaica, right?
When he came up and underground a couple of times, he lived in Long Island.
Oh, wow.
It didn't take too long to come on over.
So all of those 45, before he's on Epic, he's here.
Yeah.
There was a period that he was just like,
Let's get him to get over that much.
Like Love Punani Bad.
Right.
I think Wicked in Bed.
Yeah, man, he was running like a machine gun.
Right.
One behind
Even
another.
Yeah.
Trailer Load might have been voiced up here too, and I think Tingling as well. You know, Barrington Levy. A lot of these records were done here.
So do you think that it sounds different because it was recorded here?
Absolutely. Well, this is
And
why.
why?
If you really look into the history, all right, Steely and Clevie were the musicians for
Yes.
King Jammies. Bobby Digital was the engineer,
Yes.
as well as a producer, but not really getting the props as producer.
Okay.
So Jammies had its sound at the
Yes.
studio that was predominantly Steely and Clevie and Digital B.
So this is a studio in Jamaica for those who don't know anything about this.
So what happened when things were changing and Philip had the studio, you had labels like Witty,
Yes.
who had Tenor Saw,
Yeah.
Work on Sunday.
Remember I said earlier that there were certain records you couldn't find. You had to go to VP or other stores on Church Avenue in Brooklyn to find them.
Witty was on Utica, Superpower was on Church.
Right.
So these records being done in New York were all done at Philip Smart Studio.
Okay.
So it had its own sound. New York started developing its own sound. So these records are selling.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously to Jamaica, it's like, well, we want to sell records too. And records that are becoming popular, and we want that sound. So sometimes they would send songs up for Philip to mix. And then started coming up to record at Philip to get the sound.
So it's like Kenny was saying earlier, the frequency has to match what's happening in the spot.
Yeah, well, it's eras too. You know, you look at the Channel One era, and then King Jammy's time. Things evolve.
Yeah.
Sonics get better, boards get better, compressors get better.
Right.
So, when you're up to date.
Yeah.
And you know how to engineer from the old school.
Yeah.
You apply the old to the new.
But I imagine at that time, New York, early 90s, this is crack era still. We still kind of in that. It's crazy out here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different vibe than sitting in Kingston, Jamaica.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But then,
so the atmosphere is different.
But economically.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
We sell records.
Yeah.
This is a hub for
That's
music
what we
to
do.
sell.
Yes.
You had Witty, you had Superpower, you had VP, you had Moody's in the Bronx.
Yes.
You had these outlets where music is selling.
Yes.
It's not selling like that out of Dynamic in Jamaica. So if you want to make money selling units, you got to send it to New York.
So I remember the Arc in Brooklyn. We used to have this spot, the Arc in Brooklyn, and you would get on the set when, or Bobby Condas would get on the set. Big up to Bobby Condas, because he's also a guy. The first time I ever heard a Bobby Condas record was a house record.
The Poem.
Yeah, the Poem, and others that he put. He put the vibes in the background.
I remember
on
when
those
Bobby
records.
first started.
Yeah.
I used to go to BLS.
Yeah,
Like, yo, man,
big
I
up
wanna
to
do
Bobby
reggae.
Condas. Yeah, man.
I remember.
And Bobby would play, and David Levy, and it was always like it was Saturday night, Sunday night. It was like you went on Saturday night, might be a little bit more hip hop, R&B.
We were on Sunday night.
Oh yeah,
Originally,
Sunday night would be more reggae.
We were on before.
Yes.
BLS tried to come for us.
Yes.
With
Yes.
Pat
Yes.
and Bobby.
That was Kiss
Remember
FM. Pat McKay.
Pat McKay, yes.
Yes.
And then eventually they went to Kiss, Hot 97.
Right. So now we're doing parties. I'm doing the Ark, me and my man Sam. And then one day we have Red Fox, Screechy, a guy named Shaggy, Baja Jed, a couple other guys that was around at that particular time. And you guys start putting out music.
Yeah, that was my crew.
Tell us about that.
The original crew, Sting International crew, was really from about 87, 86, 87. And that was like guys like Daddy Silva, and then Screechy Dan, and Red Fox. And occasionally you would have some artists come through the studio, which would be like Mikey Jarrett.
Like Mikey Jarrett, Mikey Jarrett just stepped into place.
Mac Daddy.
Mac Daddy just stepped into place.
So,
you mentioned his name.
Carlton Livingston would pass through the studio.
Yes,
and they would record. I would actually record dub plates.
Yes. You
know, so this is kind of like where that kind of started. So the crew was a very tight-knit crew.
Yes.
And I had a vision to actually push, my people, because I know they had talent.
Yes.
I didn't have money for studio, but I would actually record them on dubs.
Yes.
And make our own records.
Right.
And those would become exclusives at the parties, which would become anthems.
What was the dub spot over there behind Sears? Over there, what was that spot that everybody used to go to get the dubs made?
That was Don Juan.
Don Juan, yes.
All of my dubs were cut here at VP.
Oh, at VP.
But that's another story.
Okay.
We're going to talk about that.
Right.
That's in the documentary.
Yes. All right, so you're cutting these songs. You're exclusive. You're playing them at your dances. Couple of guys might get them. Red might get them because you guys work together.
No, these are completely exclusive records.
Completely exclusive. Red's
these are
still trying to figure out what that was.
Hey, it's funny you say that because at one time when I went to him at the Underground, I was hearing something, and I came there and I say, yo, man, can I get that? Because I had no idea it was territorial.
Yeah. It was just talent to showcase.
Yeah.
And I wasn't familiar with the process of actually putting the record out yet.
Yes.
So it was just doing stuff in the crib, cutting the dub, and playing it.
So I did a video for Shaggy, Oh Carolina. That was the first one I did.
Yes, the first.
And how did that come about? Because that was like, it sounded like I didn't know that sound at the time.
Oh Carolina?
Oh yeah, that was like a throwback in a way.
I'm a weirdo, so I dream beats. I dreamt that beat.
Wow.
Just like others, but that one I actually got up and did something.
Yeah.
That was different. Yes.
Very.
I dreamt the beat, so when I got up, this was very early when Shaggy came. Red Fox brought Shaggy around. This is like 91.
Yeah.
So he came in like the last one on the train.
Yes.
On the moving train. So he was fresh to it, just came out of the service and stuff like that. I had this beat in my head. I woke up, I found a little old jazz kind of swing record, did the little loop, and then found a little 007, put it in there. And then I called the crew over. I said, yo, I got an idea, come through.
Yeah.
So it was Fox, Screechy, Baja,
yes.
I get the whole crew, Silva, and I'm playing this beat, and they're looking at me like I'm out of my mind. And I'm like, nah, you gotta listen to the timing. Just go halftime. Halftime and how you DJ, just slow it down, or even double time it. Just listen to the, After a while, I gave them example, and they kind of figured it out. And then they all started like, all you hear is like this, like we're in a fish market, just people just talking and stuff, different styles coming about.
So all of those guys were on that rhythm?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Baja was the first though. Better Work Sensation was the very first.
Oh, I always felt like Baja and Shaggy was like a competition.
No, the Baja was before Shaggy.
Oh, I mean, but just
well, everybody was a competition. It was a healthy competition back then. Each one bounced off. Like, Oh Carolina was Screechy's idea.
But you know what? So, the thing that kills me is that you put a rhythm out. This is when there'd be 10 people on the same rhythm. So let's say Shaba makes the rhythm hot. Now everybody else is on the rhythm. They're gonna win because Shaba made the record hot. That's not fair to Shaba.
No, well, they kind of support each other. Because some you have a DJ on, and then you have a DJ and singer.
Yeah.
Or just a singer.
But how do you make that decision?
Some of them joints have 4 or 5 of them hot.
Yeah, 5, yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sling Ting.
Sling Ting, yeah.
100 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, right about that. And then some.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about Shaba Ranks because amazing artist crosses over, gets signed to a major label here in the United States, and just is a wave that takes off. Red, what did you see when you first heard Shaba and you started playing it, and then started to see it work at radio?
What it was the way how he chant. his chanting style came across so aggressive.
Yeah.
And catchy at the same time. And I was like, I mean, he was like, his sound and his style at that time is what DMX became later on.
Oh, wow.
That's what it reminded me of. He had that raw, that energy.
Yeah.
And then
Confidence.
When I got to see him, he very much. And then when you got to see him perform,
Yeah.
it took it to another level. Like, oh, he's that guy.
Yeah.
So that was really caught my attention.
Confidence is a big thing. But the women love Shabba.
Absolutely.
Man, they go crazy. I mean, to this day, I go to shows. Shabba still got the girls going crazy. How old is Shabba? I think he was a stickler for like everything has to be done. If I'm going to be in the United States and I'm going to compete in this place with these particular artists, R&B artists, pop artists, whatever kind of artists, we have to do it at that level.
Absolutely.
We can't do it like, maybe I used to let things fly and back in Jamaica or certain things. We can't do that in the United States. I got to be.
Shabba was always straight to the point. We got to get it.
Yeah.
When he came to the underground for the first time.
Yes.
From that day, I was like, all right, here's the list. This is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
I still have the album covers. The 12-inch covers. I used to write the list of how we're gonna go down the line.
Yeah. Yeah. I have some footage of you DJing for him at a Spin magazine party.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't even remember that party.
Yeah.
But any artist that came to the underground, I had a plan.
Yes.
So just write down, here's what we're gonna do, set it up, and then he's ready. He's a professional from day one.
We're going to talk a little bit more. I know I'm going to let Kenny got to get on the road. me and Sting could talk here, and Red will talk a little bit more, further the conversation. I'm hoping that we can talk a little bit more about Record Store Day, so I'm going to take a little break here for one quick second. Red, you on the radio today? Oh, Red's on the radio every day.
Yeah, I'll be on later on this evening. I mean, well, it's daylight now at 6 o'clock, 6 to 8.
Yes. So big up to all the vinyl that we have in the store today. This is Sean Paul, Spice, Shaggy, amazing record on 12-inch. It's not $2.99 anymore, but this is an amazing record. Big up to Spice and all her accomplishments. A little controversy this year at the Grammys, but we don't care about the Grammys. It's okay. This lady I love, Coffee. Toast was the big tune last year, 2 years now? It's been 2 years? Yeah, and this is the new album. She just got like that young energy, man. The voice, amazing voice on Coffee. So for the people that are looking for the new stuff, if you're looking for some of the classics, Ika Mouse.
Wow.
Talk about Ika Mouse.
Tallest mouse alive.
Ika Mouse, yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah, this is right here. This is all.
I want to do them.
There you go. This is all for Record Store Day. Right now, come on down to 170-19 Jamaica Avenue. We are here. Amazing conversation. There is a incredible sound system. Who's outside?
Pretty Posse.
Pretty Posse.
Yes.
They got the big speakers like you see in the movies on album covers. They outside. They out there playing vinyl, right? They playing vinyl? Yes.
All vinyl.
Yeah. Mighty Diamonds, Pass the Knowledge. This just feels like some reggae brand Nubians or something.
The lead singer just passed away.
Oh, really?
Unfortunately, got killed in Jamaica the other day.
Oh, wow.
So, pass the Gucci from the, we're going on the line.
Oh, yes. Okay, all right.
Another great, and then the second one passed away like days later from sickness.
Oh, serious?
Yes.
Wow.
This is just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. So there's some amazing titles for those who know the new stuff as well as the older stuff. Is this a first Barrington Levy?
No.
No?
This is Junjo time.
Junjo time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Barrington.
Over the rock. There's a few on here actually.
So wait a minute. I remember we used to play Here I Come. Was Here I Come on?
No, that's not that.
Oh.
Prison Over Rock and 21 Gun Salute time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Volcano.
All right. See, Sting gonna hang around. We're gonna get Mikey Jarrett in here, and we're gonna talk a little bit further about what's going on right now. Kenny Dope, thank you so much, man, for coming through here, brother. Give Kenny Dope a round of applause.
Yes, sir.
Man, amazing. What are you doing now? Just music-wise, you can give him a mic.
Oh wow, man! We just pandemic time was a time to just be in the house and a lot of creative juices happening. So there's a lot coming. You know, new MEW album. There's a bunch, but we'll leave it at that. We'll be coming soon.
Awesome, man. Hey, look, Kenny Dope, Sting International. We are here at Record Store Day, and it's VP Records. Kool DJ Red Alert. I got some more questions, Red. I got some more questions. I need some answers. Red. Don't go nowhere. Come on down. We're going to raffle off some stuff. We did a raffle already for the Down in Jamaica box set. We're going to do another one in a little while. So hang out. And we got some video. So let's play. Let's see what we got here. We got some Kenny Dope there because Kenny's getting ready to leave. Yeah, maybe we could do a Kenny Dope, and then we'll line up some stuff. So we're gonna play some visuals. I got some exclusive footage. Yeah, all right, that's cool. They're familiar with that right there. All right, we'll play some visuals, and we'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. I think somebody's bringing some jerk chicken and some. I think we need that right about now. Yeah, all right. VP Records, Record Store Day. Ralph McDaniels, Red Alert, Sting International, Kenny Dope. We here.
Brooklyn Posse make we lick shot. Wow. This mad liar make we lick shot. Wow. This Bronx Posse make we lick shot. Wow. This third world Posse make we lick shot. Wow. Who been listening to PDP?
You are not. Calm down, Lion. Calm down. Take it easy, man. Just take it easy.
Many suckers and not enough time to poke up all of them with one clip from me 9. To shoot to kill them, say me don't care. I tried to kill but it don't get me nowhere. I just put on me gun in a Philly suitcase. Pick up me fist, me put off them face. Flip, script, one a guy head flick. Boom, back, and not one shot no liquor. Don't know once again. We distinguish real bad boys them. And if you a bad boy, not a guy can tie. Let me see the fist them.
Take it easy. Gotta take it easy. Gotta take it easy. Gotta take it easy.
Dirty boy jump up, dirty boy get stung. That perpetrator that guy get stung. Some guy cool but some need to get stung. If they bought them guns, say them run out of luck. Now we kill them all and we come back alone. Boom day. Mad lion, up on microphone, alright. So just step up, boy what's up? Put your crew to the side, take out your go front. Buckle up and guard your grill. No need to gun, cause you get hurt still. Think who no wicked, tell them to come. I have me fist, me no need not a gun. Now go touch it if you don't touch me first. If you touch me boy you must bite the dust. Bad boy, rude boy, bring your face and skin up. Decent person with an evil touch. I don't bother nobody, I dance back and clutch. It is the program, boy, you must get. Not enough time to buck them all up with the clip from me 9. So shoot to kill them, say me don't care. I try to kill but it don't get me nowhere. Creeping on me pocket and me deep in on me waist. Take out me gun, put in on me suitcase. Pick up me fist and you know me run the race. One thump in a boy them face. Two thump and we tear down the place. Three thump and them cannot escape. Cannot escape. Cannot escape. Car toe once again. We distinguish real bad boys them. And if you a bad boy, not a guy can tie. Let me see your face demo. Cause I'm not a DJ and I'm not a MC. I'm a boy to member of the Kool BDP. Step to a crew boys, no problem. We have a fist and it quick me shout them. Have me gun but it in on me place. Pick up me fist just to put off your face. Man I am there and we wicked and bad. Love me fist and me gun next to God. You see me fist come me up in a line. Wicked bad boy run things every time.
Take it easy. Gotta take it easy. Gotta take it easy. Gotta
All them attack and defend. Can't stop me from love the girl them. Girl on the left and girl on the right. Two of them combine and one fight. One to a punch, one take out a knife. I nearly kill the girl and take away her life. Tell me good of people is that right. Make girl a kill girl, the man where she like. I don't like that, them flexing on me zone. Feed them girl, we just keep them ass home. One lion there, step on the throne. Why say we wicked and we bad to the bone, that's why.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Sweat, work on me body like him a ready budget. Tell him man when me love, I ain't me a forget. Work me body, him a work it to death. You a 50 minutes man, you better start red. Cause you a cry and you not get nothing yet. Take me body cause you not go regret. And over a hour then you need to perfect. Man is not a man, if I'm gonna walk a man. Man is not a man if he can't go 10 furlong. Man is not a man if I'm gonna walk a man. Me want a man we can tamper me long. I want a real teddy bear. No matter how big, I don't care. One who can love me up and pour juice in my cup. I want a real teddy bear. No matter how big, I don't care. One who can love me up and pour juice in my cup. Man is not a man if I'm gonna walk a man. Man is not a man if he can go 10 furlong. Man is not a man if I'm gonna walk a man. Me want a man we can stand for me long. When me find one, me say what a bam bam. Flex out the night and still a go long. Caress me when you go, make me do the Armstrong. Come prove to me say you're no 1 minute man. Steps to me softly just like a real man. And me a request I just you down along. Man is not a man if I'm gonna walk a man. Man is not a man if he can go 10 furlong. Man is not a man if I'm gonna walk a man. Me want a man we can tamper me long. I have a real man problem. Gotta find a guy who can solve them. One who love to play in many different ways. I want a real teddy bear. No matter how big, I don't care. One who can love me up and pour juice in my cup. Finger nail to the back when him a walk. He walk me all night and make me stomach come up. Me love when them bad and some one like them tough. Cause when them in a bed me I go hold them products. Come test me now. If I stop me you a probe. Come make up play a little touches and move. Day by day I saw me improve. Me not back from it cause me know me not lose sex. Man is not a man if I'm gonna walk a man. Man is not a man if he can go 10 furlong. Man is not a man if I'm gonna walk a man. Me want a man we can stand panny long. Man is not a man if I'm gonna walk a man. Man is not a man if he can go 10 furlong. Man is not a man if I'm gonna walk a man. Me want a man.
Welcome back, VP Records, Record Store Day 2022. We are here in VP Records, Jamaica, Queens, 170-19, Jamaica Avenue. Miss Pat is here, making sure that we don't tear up the place.
It's okay for today. Once it can put back together, I don't mind. This is a big celebration for us. Record Store Day, VP Records, and Ralph McDaniels, together with
Mr. Johnny Osbourne.
All right.
my dear friend Johnny Osbourne.
Yeah, one love. You don't know Johnny Osbourne from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and in the new millennium, still kicking it strong. And you don't know VP Records of the music.
So you got the opportunity just now to meet Kenny Dope.
Yeah.
For the first time.
Yeah, because we had the Booty Boy Kenny Dope mix hip hop flavor, and I've never met him. I've seen him, but I see pictures. I never met him, so I get my very first time to meet Kenny Dope. So you know, Kenny Dope, dope.
Yes. You know, what did that mean to being sampled like that? And that because that was a major transition for the music, for both musics.
Of course, yeah. Because you know, being that I'm a old school and Kenny Dope is of the hip hop to the new school, then I'm from the old school, take it to the new school, I make it the one big school, and that's my rule.
That's right. Miss Pat, you know, so many great opportunities here for Record Store Day. We've been talking about the new music, but some of the new artists you're releasing too on Record Store Day as well.
Yes, we have quite a few new artists that come aboard with us, but you know, today's a special day. It's bringing back the 50s, 60s, and the 70s. Right now. It's never die and it will never die. I'm so happy that my friend for over 50 years is here with me.
Yeah, for over 50 years in the business. I don't know. Miss Pop, I'm an original, long time friend, you know, from Chancery and Corner, Eyeglass Rest, because that was my original corner that I grew up downtown Kingston, and Eyeglass Rest, Chancery and North Parade was my corner. I was christened right across from the shop in the Salvation Army, Bramwell Booth Memorial Hall. So, you know, that's my corner from original, from I was a baby.
Wow. And give them a shout out to your school, their favorite
yes,
school.
and you know, one of my favorite school was Alpha Boy School, who really groomed me in the music as a real musician. I was just singing until I get to Alpha, that I become a member of the Alpha Band and learn to play the trumpet and learn the music. But afterwards I realized that the trumpet wasn't my trumpet. My voice was my trumpet. So I used my voice as the trumpet and just deal with the singing, because I could have really transcend more so, and I could have expressed more with my voice than the trumpet, because Lenny Eberts was the band leader, was my teacher. He's a very good mentor, but he's a very serious teacher. He teaches with a drumstick. So, you know, if you make a mistake, it's in your head. But he was the best. Lenny Eberts, he was the best music teacher, and I'm really glad that I had a chance to really pass through Alpha Boy School. It got me musically, even more musically inclined.
I saw a documentary that talked about the influence of like music like Motown and some of the early 50s, 60s music in Jamaica. And what were some of the early artists that you were hearing from the U.S.?
No, listen to me. All right. I'm going from Billy Eckstein. Right? Yes. I'm going from, all right, you know who I used to love? Johnny Hayes.
Yes.
Right? He sing, just let me love you tonight.
Yes.
Forget about tomorrow. So when I heard that, I wanted to be Johnny Hayes. Then I heard Johnny Mathis, not King Cole. I wanted to be a Johnny. So Johnny was my right name. But I wanted to be a Johnny Hayes or a Johnny Mathis so much. I just take on the name Johnny. So that's where the name come from.
And Johnny Osbourne becomes very,
all right.
famous.
And then the Delphonics and the Stylistics. All the doo-wops, you know. And I learned my craft from them, and I learned harmonies through those records.
Yes.
From the Motown era, come straight up to the Philly groove, you know, to the Philly sound, you know, everything. So, and I used to sing all these doo-wops from Frankie Lyman and the Belmonts, Frankie Lyman, Jersey Boys, you know what I mean? So I've been singing all of that. I had a little group, me and my friends from early. We used to walk through my neighborhood, sing. We used to stop at the girls' gate and thrill them. So we used to just be neighborhood singers. So I was a very famous singer before I started recording. People already know me as a singer. I was so famous and I didn't make a record. So when I started recording, then people already knew I could sing. So they just wanted to hear something from me. And I used to tell them that you're going to hear me on the radio, you're going to see me on TV. And I had to make sure I fulfill that dream. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're here now, Johnny.
I'm a musical journey. After over 50 years, I'm still kicking. And the voice has never let me down.
Right, so you're going to give us a little touch of the goodie vibe.
All right, so.
Acapella.
All right, I'm going to give you acapella because this is one of the songs who really put me all over the world more than any song. But let me hear you say, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah. whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah. Bully by number one. And bully by number two. And bully by number three. And bully by number four. Miss Effie, hold up your hands if you love them, your fashion and the style. Hear me now. There is a massive in the corner. All of them just a ball out for murder. But let me hear you say, whoa, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah. Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping, Brother John? Brother John, you put it on the table. Stop playing with your neighbor. Number one. You don't know number one. All right.
Record Store Day 2022. We are here. VP Records, Video Music Box. So happy to meet you, brother.
Yeah, man. It's a
Look
pleasure.
forward to seeing you some more.
Yeah.
And we're outside now. We're doing more things outside.
I'm not letting go because it's not letting me go.
That's right.
All right.
Miss Chin, thank you so much. We're going to go to another video, and then we're going to come back. Welcome back, VP Records, Record Store 2022. We are here. VP is on 170-19 Jamaica Avenue. Some amazing folks coming through. You just saw Johnny Osbourne. Miss Sting, Miss Pat brought him in. We got Sting going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit more about the hip hop and the dancehall and reggae. My good friend Screechy is here. We talked a little bit about you. Then we're gonna have you come back with Sting too. And Mikey Jarrett is here. So a couple of other guys. But who is this gentleman right here? Because he said you hooked him up, man, and set him up, man. Gave him his name.
Oh yeah. I mean. Slick, I don't want to shout out his government because I was going to shout out the government and then go into it, if you don't mind.
No, I don't have a problem.
All right. When I saw Nicholas doing what he was doing with the turntables,
yes,
I was like, man, this dude finger got some slick fingers, man, and nobody was doing that at the time in reggae and dancehall, like hip hop.
Yes,
he was using the crossover and scratching while you're chanting on the mic without messing up.
That's not easy.
And I was like, yo, you
on time.
I said, yo, you got some slick finger. You know what? Your name is Slick Finger. I said, pull up Slick Finger immediately. And it just stuck.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
So that's the history of the name. Short and simple.
Yeah.
Quick and fast.
Quick and fast.
So Slick, you outside. You guys have been outside. I'm gonna bring with me. Just come back. I'm gonna come back to you, Screechy, because I wanted to get
back after these messages.
Yeah. Screechy going in.
Screechy Dan.
We have the sound. I've been talking about the sound system outside. We've been seeing shots of it, but explain to the importance of the sound. And it's tradition. You all continue to keep on the tradition. Right. Introduce yourself and let us know why it's important, the competitiveness and all of that kind of stuff.
Well, Pee-wee will tell you, and I can tell you, Mr. Ralph, the only system is a sound system.
Only.
That's the only system.
Only sound system. Only.
Is the sound system. And, a lot of people has been straying from that foundation, that root of it. And really and truly in dancehall, in the party scene, a lot of the promoters, a lot of the club owners, they really have to pay attention and get back to that.
Yes.
Because you could go to a party and you can have no security.
Yeah.
You can have no liquor.
Right.
But you can't have a party without music.
That's right.
It's key.
So, I've been doing this for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I remember running home to watch you on,
Channel 31.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go.
But I just have to give thanks to everyone that has supported me over the years. You know what I mean? And Rebel Next Level right now. I've been through a lot of sound systems.
Yes.
Started from a sound like Baby Quake that Screechy mentioned.
Yes.
To I used to play Afric Sound Station.
Yes.
A sound called Super Do. A good friend of mine, big producer, Mr. Do Records.
Mm-hmm.
And then Colors Sound. And then I said, you know what, I got to do my own thing. Rebel Next Level.
It's different when you go to a club and, they got the speakers up in the wall and them speakers on the floor is a different vibe.
Different energy. Different energy.
Yeah.
Different energy.
Talk about that.
well, like he said, the only sound is a sound system.
Yeah.
That's the basis of dancehall.
Yes, sir.
That's how the records got tested on a sound system.
Yes, sir.
If the tweeters was good, the bass was good, the mid was good. That was the testing ground.
Yeah.
So for those who didn't know, because we would be called the transition.
Right.
Because we played vinyl to CD to now everybody's using laptops. But we're going to say nobody's going to try to out young us. Because no young kid's going to tell me how to use a laptop. I'm going to show you how to use a laptop.
Exactly.
And nobody else going to tell me how to play a record. I'm like, man, I know how to use that too. So we're the our generation is the crossbreed of the gap. That gap. We used to carry the big records and carry it on the plane and play extra on the plane. Right. So now it's light. It's easy. You have to move with the times. But like he said, that foundation, them boxes on the floor, that would never change.
And that sound system is what it brought a lot of artists. It brought a lot of artists to the forefront.
Absolutely.
Because you're bringing your vinyl. You're saying, yo, DJ, please, selector, please play this.
Yes, sir.
And then that's that crowd. That's gonna hear that song.
When do you think, we've been talking today about hip hop and reggae, dancehall, whatever you want to call it, that mix up when it started to happen, early 90s. I mean, look, we reference guys like Heavy D, who was, he's Jamaican. Yes. And he was clearly letting you know.
Yes, I'm here.
Special Ed did it as well.
Yes. Shinehead
was amazing, but then we started to get to that 90s, and then you start to hear Shaba, then the remixes started to happen.
Mad Lion,
Supercat.
Yes.
Buju comes a little bit, how was that transition? Was that made it easier to play in more American clubs, or did it matter to you?
It didn't matter because, I mean, you go to a lot of American clubs and they know the reggae music just as well as the island people.
That's right.
So, you know what I mean? Good music is good music.
Also, you're talking about New York City.
Yeah, New York.
Well, New York is the most diverse city. You go anywhere. You got Jamaicans, Trini, Guyanese, Haitian. You got Americans, and everybody was the melting pot. Especially from the Bronx to Brooklyn to Queens.
You a DJ, you got to know it all.
You got to know it all. You got to know it all.
At the end of the day, good music is good music.
Music, yes. Absolutely.
No matter what it is. No matter who it is.
Yep.
Good music is good music.
Very key.
Who were the guys that you heard on the mic that you said, I want to do this? First time, early.
From a selecting a DJ standpoint, I would say Rory from Stonewall.
I would have to second that.
Big up Rory, yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, there was a whole
There's a
group
pod
of them,
but
Rory was the one that really stood out, and I said, "Yo,
professional."
Exactly.
Professional, and he was basically the key.
Yeah.
Selecting how to talk on a microphone.
Yeah.
Obviously, it evolved over years, but he was basically how to mix a record, how to select a record.
Yeah.
He was
the package.
He's the pack. You follow him and you learn.
I also feel like there were a lot of people that came in when it was getting popular that wanted to jump in, but Rory was like kind of like a gatekeeper in a sense of this is the way it's supposed to be.
Yes.
Right.
But I mean, like you said, you take a little bit of him and you add your flavor to it.
Yes, sir.
He's the foundation. Like we said, it will never change. How we play music today to now will never change. But he's that crossbreed for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
So we back outside. So what's going on? We're gonna bring the set out.
Yeah, definitely. You know,
we out here today. That's
we out, and Pretty Posse got the yellow bird out there.
Yes.
Next level, we got our sound system because, to me, to be in that game, I believe that as a selector, and you want to have a strong hold in the business, you should have your physical sound
system. Very important.
Walking around with just a laptop, that doesn't do
That's cool.
It's cool, but it don't do nothing for me.
That's cute.
It's
cute. It's cute.
Yo, the thing that always amazed me as a kid, like in hip hop, when I used to see guys like Grandmaster Flowers, Pete DJ Jones, especially the guys from Brooklyn, Plummer, my boy, these were early disco dudes, and they had so much equipment. Even the Disco Twins in Queens.
Yeah.
And I used to be like, where do they work that they can afford all this equipment?
Well, we're not gonna go there.
But I found out later. That had nothing to do with I was trying to work to get it.
We call it tax returns. That's how we do it. Tax returns, you know? You call it tax returns. No stimulus that time. No.
Yes.
Hey, man, thank you for stopping by, man. We're going to play some more videos. We got some more guests in the place. We're going to bring back Sting and Red Alert still here. Mikey Jarrett stopping through. Screechy is here.
Red Fox.
Red Fox is here too.
Yes. So many folks.
You know.
So I mean, look, I did Red Fox, two videos for Red Fox. I directed, and I did Shaggy's. A couple of videos for him. I did Ghetto Red Hot.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Which one? Yeah, we can play some Red Fox now.
Definitely.
Yeah, let's do that. All right. Record Store Day 2022. We are here 170-19 Jamaica Avenue. Come on down, VP Records, and share this. Let people know. Any shout outs before we go?
I gotta big up my entire team, here in Brooklyn, New York, back in Jamaica, St. Mary, because we got the next level down there as well.
Nice.
And you just gotta say, people, music is a mission and not a competition.
Never.
And vinyl is ital. You know what I'm saying? So, Pee-wee.
Well, I got to be able to know Pretty Posse crew. Father Billy, Carl, Uncle Eli, Father Jedor team. Queens, New York, that's what I rep. You know what I'm saying? New York City, till I die. You know?
Yeah, I mean?
Like we said, sound system it is. The yellow bird is flying outside. Police didn't want to turn it off, but they can't. You know what I'm saying?
Sir, I know I have to say much respect to you. Keep up the good work.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I've been watching you since I was so high.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Trying to find it on my teeth.
I've been doing this a long time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm glad to still be here.
Yeah, man.
You know where we coming from.
Bro, absolutely.
Well, the music, I feel, keeps us young.
Definitely. Yes. Yes.
All right, we'll be right back, y'all. Don't go nowhere, all right? We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
One more word out of your mouth, you was. The next one it should have been. Time for the murdering. Time for the killing. Accept me as I am. What I say? So them a murderer, for them a gangster. I am a man, he's a black warrior. So them a murderer, for them a gangster. I am a man, he's a black warrior. I said, getting very close to the enemy, crawling, moving, very slowly but surely. We get our glory, gotta keep strong, gotta keep sturdy, keep the fire burning, and don't stop it. Mama Africa, here I come in a hurry. All these years have been so lonely. Don't worry yourself, everything curry. With me Mark 10 and me brand new Uzi. And I put a house with me Chris Peace, especially them a murderer. For them a gangster, I am man, he's a black warrior. So them a murderer, for them a gangster, I am man, he's a black. Watch out! Put a holy fox and rip off the shirt. I nah go stop me, nah go divert. Give me belly full, satisfied and me burp. That's when Africa is no longer hurt. I are the goat, head cup of burst. For what they have done for hunger and thirst. Lord, Mr. Fox, nobody you no nurse. We got in on the umbilical plan, must worse. Say them a murderer, for them a gangster. I am man, he's a black warrior. So them a murderer, for them a gangster. I am man, put it on the pressure. Watch out! Tell them, say the Fox a come right now. Tell them, because I ain't no yo. You big fat hog, you big fat cow. Left time you have black people about. With me back a gun friend, I need the gun blow. I can't see it's gonna be a bloody show. What's the people about me? Go fast, go. One up on the trigger and me nah go let go. Them a murderer, for them a gangster. I got man, he's a black warrior. Them a murderer, for them a gangster. I got man, put it on the pressure. Take a look in the ghetto, tell me what you see. Take a look, take a look, take a look. Them a murderer, for them a gangster. I got man, he's a black warrior. Them a murderer, for them a gangster. I got man, put it on the pressure. Yeah, you know that bag of long talking. The people them starving, need food to eat. Want clothes to wear. I act like you don't care. That's why right I know, you have to live in fear. A red fox is here. All of the people them, watch this. Them a murderer, for them a gangster. I got man, he's a black warrior. Them a murderer, for them a gangster. I got man, put it on the pressure. Come like you never hear what the red fox said. Right
Welcome back to VP Records Record Store Day 2022. I'm Ralph McDaniels from Video Music Box. Today we are talking about reggae, dancehall, hip hop. We've got my friend Kool DJ Red Alert here. We've just been joined by the lovely Nadine Sutherland is here. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
And Mikey Jarrett is here. Mac Daddy is in the place.
Yes. Mr. Original, who set it from day one. Cause without Kool DJ Red Alert and you,
yes,
we was here before MTV and BET, setting the thing.
Well, people didn't really understand what was happening, especially the crossover audience. It was a little bit early for them. They were still on Bob Marley time. But we had moved past Bob Marley and we were doing some other things. And the music young people were listening to was hip hop and what they were hearing in the clubs in Brooklyn and the Bronx and in Atlanta and Miami. You know, when you guys came out, it was like a whole nother ball game, and it changed what the atmosphere was. We talk about the early music that you used to listen to, and I had some folks on earlier, and they were talking about how they just listened to R&B records on the radio. You know, the gentleman was older than you, so I'm pretty sure, you know, he was talking about 50s and 60s music. But who were some of the early artists that you were listening to that were American artists that you were like, I like that?
Okay, so different stages of my youth. The initial stage was what my family was listening to, like Aretha, the Jackson 5.
Yes.
I remember Ben was hot in my house. And I used to sing Ben as a child, but Ben to Michael Jackson.
That's right. Hey, Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson was there. And then as I got older, and Whitney Houston came out, and that she was my favorite.
Yes.
But then you had like there's so many stars that came out, so many R&B stars. Anita Baker left an indelible mark. Right. There's a lady, Regina Bell. But there's this it's morning and we slept the night away. Kelly Price did it over, but the original singer that did that, oh my God, she was amazing. And I started listening to gospel.
Yes.
The gospel at that time was just incredible. And then the hip hop came in and I just listened to we'll call it American music then.
Yes. So when you dropped, we were talking earlier about Shaba and Supercat really started taking it to another level. You came in at that time?
I came in a little bit after.
Yes.
The Shaba and Supercat, you know, they started opening up the doors.
Yes.
In terms of record companies signing.
Yes.
You know, dancehall, and then it just opened a slow doors for people like me. Well, my history predated Shaba and Supercat in Jamaica. I'm a child star from 1979. Here and I'm talking about Bob Marley.
Yeah.
Bob Marley was the one who gave me my first break as a child. Yes, yeah. So I was in that cultural stuff. Baby girl, 11-year-old in Jamaica. But then I think the world recognized me and saw me, the world.
Yes.
But like even some people in America, if you were listening to roots reggae, you would have been familiar with me. But I think it was the video with Action came out.
Yeah.
And I was dancing in a midriff in Halfway Tree. That made a difference with Terrified.
So, so you were like like part of the American Idol kind of thing that?
No, I was in the TC Talent Contest. It was a street concert.
Okay.
Then they never had any televised. But fast forward now, after that, I actually became like the Jamaican Idol. I became a judge later on in my career.
Wow. Did you do the talent shows and stuff like that, Mikey? No. Bring up your mic.
You see, I came here when I was 16, but from Jamaica, I was in a band. I was a drum major. Growing up in Trenchtown.
Yes.
In that area, my cousin, the great Delroy Wilson, that's my grandmother, nephew. And there was a great person what enough people don't talk about. His name is Jimmy Tucker.
Bruh.
Is another family called Jarrett is the first generation. Now Jimmy Tucker used to open for Nat King Cole back in the days when they came to Jamaica at Carib Theatre and Regal Theatre back in the days. That man was singing ballad. In Trenchtown where we was growing, a lot of people never used to even talk much about Bob Marley in those times. Because when me I grew up, as a little youth, I'm in the street from I was 5 going to the dance all over. There was more the Stranger Cult. There was more Higgs and Wilson. There was Alton Ellis and his sister Hortense Ellis, and so much great people in the community.
Right.
No.
Jamaica, wait, I mean, but like every block, there's a talent. You know,
Listen.
Red, you've been to Jamaica. When you go to Jamaica, one thing that it was incredible to me was I would be in a spot everywhere, I don't care, any house, wherever you went, up in the hills, in the town, in the city, there's a speaker in the front of the house playing music.
Oh yeah, because everybody feel they need their shine, you know, get their exposure going on. There was no holding back. And you believe in it, you pursue it. You go forth, you make it happen.
But you know something? Jamaica music coming from a great man called Louis Jordan. That's where they take the ska. Ain't nobody here but us taking all of that. That's where the DJ come in. There was early DJ like a man called Count Machuki, who used to DJ, and Tom the Great Sebastian, the Chinese connection. And then after that he went to Studio One to DJ, and Studio One cocks the downbeat sound first with King Stitch on number 2. There was also some people like the great Palmer Dice, Cuttings. Then comes along Daddy U-Roy, because I remember Daddy U-Roy from Jonestown, a DJ on a sound called Dickie's Hi-Fi.
Yes.
Because we grew Trenchtown with the same Kingston 12, or one part of jungle, the next part of Rima. So
wait a minute, so when you put your records out, you were already in the U.S.
I came to the U.S. as a young man at 16 because I was in a marching band. Those days when we go and taking the funeral people them to the Maypen Cemetery and all of that, we have a whole lot of crowd. When the Queen come to Jamaica, I was there. When King Selassie come to Jamaica, 1966, I was at the airport. At that time it was Palisades Airport. You know what I mean?
That was the anniversary of the visit of his
I migrated
Jamaica,
and came here, and then when I came here, the first place I landed was Clinton Hill, 296 Lafayette. Today is my anniversary coming to America, 52 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
April 23rd.
Nice.
3 days when I came, right on Lafayette, between Classen and Grand. I have a confrontation with my own people, African American. Say to me, yo man, where you from? Bombay? When you come in this music, you curry eating this, that. Get back on the banana boat.
No, kids were bad. You know, we talk about that. People didn't want to say they was from the Caribbean when they came here first. Because kids would tease you. Oh yeah, why is it kind of accent?
Come from Jonestown.
They didn't care who you from. I know, because I seen it happen.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't until later on that people, and I think that the music helped. You know, Sting said earlier, or Kenny Dope, that when they started hearing hip-hop music and the dancehall and the reggae mixed up, the kids that were from the Caribbean felt a little bit more comfortable. Hey, that's my music. You know, that's my. They felt proud that their music was being played.
And that's when it helped bring them out, feeling proud of who they are.
Yes.
Because they were shining away what they was going through. But when they heard that, oh, that was it. There was no holding back.
Yeah. So wait a minute. So you do records? You and Terror Fabulous? Is that like a Marvin Gaye, Tammy Terrell thing?
That was just a one moment.
Oh, okay.
That I was actually the song was Nadine Sutherland and Terror Fabulous in Jamaica. Terror got signed to Electra, East West Electra.
Yes.
Then it became Terror Fabulous only.
Yes.
So I was in the video though.
Right.
So what happened? I used to come to New York, and when I walk on the street, they thought I was a Fabulous and he was a Terror. So I never got it. I never got it until one day an Indian man was saying, "Fabulous!
Oh Lord!
Fabulous!" on the road. But I was like, my name is Nadine.
Right.
And I got it one day. I said, okay, he's a Terror, I'm the Fabulous.
Right. Oh.
So then eventually it was Nadine Sutherland.
Yeah.
No, Terror Fabulous featuring Nadine Sutherland when I got signed to East West Electra, and they were positioning me now to release my solo project.
Right. I mean, you're a singer. Women in music business is always tricky when I hear conversations about it. Is women in rap? It's tough. Women in this music, same type of vibe? Tough?
Yeah, it is tough. Unfortunately, society has have an hierarchical thing from a long time.
Right.
And what is in society would be reflected in the music industry.
Yes.
Right? You have misogyny, you have sexism in the general society.
Yeah.
So it's positioned in the music industry also. There was a belief that, female reggae artists or female rap artists wouldn't sell. And when that was debunked and somebody decided, no, to market a female artist like she was sellable,
wow.
then they started seeing that template was established.
Yes.
I know you see people investing.
Yeah.
But the money that they used to invest like 100% in a male artist and 20 in a woman. So
Right.
there was a disparity in terms of investment.
Still
so
no.
you could could never ever reach the market because there was no investment in you. But
Well,
it has changed.
I'm thinking about Patra. I follow Patra.
Oh yeah,
online.
I follow her too.
And I see that she's working on. Looks like she's working on some new
She
stuff.
should be. We did the Pass the Mic the other day, and in general,
response.
people were just happy to see Patra, myself, the woman, Sister Nancy.
Yes.
But as again, there's always been, everybody is always focusing on the male artist.
Yes.
But then the response, and I feel it has really charged her up.
Yes.
And I think she's releasing, she's still very beautiful.
Yes.
I saw her the other day. She's the queen, the cheekbones are even more pronounced.
Yes.
So she feels ready to hit the road again, so I'm happy for her.
And Red, when I think about Patra, Yo-Yo on the record with her, Shaba and Queen Latifah do a record together. Talk about the combination and just, because you're trying to make a transition on to FM radio to some guy who knows nothing about it. He's corporate. You're trying to make a deal to we need to play these type of records. This is what's happening in the street.
Yes.
Tell us the process of that once again.
Yes, well, a lot of people don't understand that and may I go ahead and elaborate real quick upon what Mikey was saying, because when he was saying the DJs, the people who was chanting was the DJs.
Yeah.
Toasting and dubbing is two totally different things. Because when they hear DJ from him, he's not talking about on the turntables.
Right.
He's talking about the microphone. So I just want to express that for everybody that's listening right now. That there's a difference.
Yeah.
But as far as me as a DJ in the States, on the radio, I have learned to program a set.
Right.
To make how to segue from one thing to another way, combine some hip hop, some R&B, and some Caribbean, and make it mesh all together, make it sound like one complete, like a good meal.
Right.
That's what it works.
That's right. No, the importance of the DJ in the U.S. is ever never ending. We see it now. When I sit and I watched a lot of controversy with the Grammys this year, and I was like, hey, reggae and dancehall, welcome to the party. That's been happening to hip hop and R&B for a long time, but that means that it's large, it's large and it's everywhere. And I can't think of any other music that I can go to in any country in the world than reggae music is being played somewhere, more than hip hop, somewhere.
See. It became very dominant at one point because of how much it was being presented.
Right.
And now you are willing to open up to, take it in. First, you may have your doubts. You're not going to show it, but deep down inside, but we have fed you so well that you say, oh, this is good. So now they wide open and coming in heavier and heavier. And when I say also, I can't just lean in towards the hip hop that helped introduce the reggae, because a lot of the R&B feel from his past time. Like I was telling people, I remember there was some hit R&B songs that when people from the Caribbean was making them, they was called cover records.
True.
And them cover records would sound just as good. And then when you go within later on in the years, the early 90s, like a Maxi Priest or other people similar to them that learned to show you that they could present that sound right along with what you listen to as R&B.
Well, you see, remember, don't care what they're going to say. one of the greatest group out of America that influenced all the Jamaican artists, including Bob Marley, Curtis Mayfield, and the Impressions.
Yes.
Bob Marley, One Love is come from Curtis Mayfield. Queen of the Mistral come from Curtis Mayfield.
Yeah.
And all those
one of the most influential during that time. And
Yes.
I think, remember that in terms of how influence go, the 60s would influence the 70s. And that man, I mean, in terms of even the Wailers, I'm still waiting, is a total Curtis Mayfield group. A take off of the singing style and everything. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we see his influence across the board. You know, like it's ironic that we talk about Curtis Mayfield because Curtis Mayfield won his last show before he got hurt. Was in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
It was at Wingate. Yeah. I was at that show.
Yeah.
And then we think about his influence on guys like Kanye West, who's from Chicago. Curtis Mayfield is from Chicago as well. So I mean, I always was amazed when I would go to Jamaica. Sometimes I would go to these Sunfests.
Yes.
They used to have a show.
Sunsplash,
and all that stuff. And we'd be in a hotel, or we would go to the beach, and they weren't playing no reggae. They were playing R&B records.
But that is it, R&B. A lot of people, sometimes Americans, and I'm glad you have gone to Jamaica and see the influence of R&B on our vocal styles, especially as the singers. So a lot of people, they would hear a Sanchez, they would hear a Nadine Sutherland, they would hear a Romaine Virgo, and you hear that R&B inflection. We are not, for us, we're not imitating. We grew up with R&B as part of our whole sonic stuff. So in our heads, we're not trying to imitate America because we grew up hearing American music as a part of the musical landscape of Jamaica. So that's why you hear it in the inflections of our voices, because it's a part, just like Bob Marley with the Impressions, a part of, you go everywhere, reggae music play, then it was like American music. It's a part of our culture. Having R&B being a part of our culture.
Right. But you see, don't mean to cut you. Country and Western play in Jamaica. Okay, R&B play in Jamaica. Reggae music in Jamaica didn't play on the radio until Saturday night after 9 o'clock.
Sounds like hip hop.
So all what they saying right now,
Same thing.
You cannot knock it because Mr. Dad used to come to America and farm work and buy all these songs and let all these great groups sing them over, from Ken Booth to Heptones to Bob Marley to all of them. Listen, some of the songs that you used to hear and you think it was original, it was adapted. Right now, Jamaica wore so much billions of dollars for foreign publishing. You understand? Them can't tell me nothing. Because some guy just come in at this, but the sound system in the ghetto was who used to playing it. From the Foresters Hall all the way to the 46 Penn Street. I can tell because I was there from a little youth going out in the streets. Poor people used to hustle. The peanut man make money. The cane man make money. The coconut man make money. Everybody. So when them fight against the reggae, dancehall with the sound system, come on. Like Busta Rhymes said, him study from Lieutenant Stitchie and Papa San.
I'm so wicked.
And look on Trevor. If we call him Trevor, I'm get vexed. But in parents, Trevor Smith, East Jamaica.
I got a question. Hold on. So
I the lieutenant sitting with oh yeah, I see the lieutenant sitting at Busta now.
So wait a minute now. There was a time, I guess around the time that BET starts airing in Jamaica, that the kids now know all of the hip hop stuff now. Right, just as fast as anywhere else.
Right.
And I'm a collector of music. It's Record Store Day, so I find a lot of records on 45 of American releases that were pressed in Jamaica.
Yes, Mr. Dad used to be the Motown in Jamaica. He get the rights to press those songs. Because he used to come here and get all those records, so he was the Motown in Jamaica.
All the time, I'm like, why does it have Made in Jamaica on it?
Wow.
See, I thought it was a bootleg.
No, him used to come here and him get all these songs, come on farm work, get all these. There was a time when the DJs in Jamaica, the MC then, who used to talk, like you say, on the microphone, they wasn't doing nothing but talking and pure R&B records. And Count Machuki was the first guy. And then after that, Treasure Isle, which was Jew Creed, them start making their own music in Jamaica now and switch the thing. Them and people like Prince Buster and all of these people who was there doing it. So Mr. Dad was a great man in the business.
Wow, that's interesting.
Interesting. All right, look, it's Record Store Day. We got plenty of vinyl here. Wait a minute. Oh, no, Nadine, you have the vinyl on your side. So we're giving away, we're going to give away some stuff. How do people find you right now? And let us know.
Nadine Sutherland, everything. Nadine Sutherland. I remember my new song, Queen, is on YouTube. It's on all streaming platforms. It's a homage to women. Big up yourselves. Thanks for having me.
Mikey?
Nice seeing you.
Well, it's MikeyJarrett Instagram. Mikey Jarrett. Google Mikey Jarrett, you see who I am. Original Mac Daddy. Biggest screaming. The two biggest songs that ever cross over in America. I don't care what nobody said.
We broke it here.
You and him. Me and that guy named Rob Bass. It take two to make you feel all right. The two longest song that is on YouTube is me who put that song because it used to be on a different before YouTube was even putting up things.
Okay.
But without you and him, come on. That's why you have me here.
Yes.
Red Alert.
Really?
I don't care what a guy I gonna say.
I'm sitting with history.
All right.
My honor. All right, thank you so very much.
All right, Nadine, what you know about this right here? What you know about this?
Sizzler?
Yes.
One of the most talented artists ever to come out of Jamaica, from my perspective.
Yes.
A great songwriter, a great grill.
Awesome. All right, look, and then one more you might be familiar with.
Red.
What's that?
So one more you might be familiar with.
Barrington Levy, an awesome, unique voice that can never be replicated.
Yes.
His range is incredible.
Yes.
And oh my God, he's an incredible singer. Nobody can replicate that
And you
voice.
see, when you're talking about Barrington Levy, they must give credit to Jalife, who started this thing with Barrington Levy.
Yes.
Saying because most of them lyrics are him tech. And me and Nicodemus did a spar and Jalife who write all of them songs there.
Nice.
Saying, and some people don't give him credit.
And the intercom.
Saying, from the Bounty Hunty album. Saying, so some people come and them sugarcoat the thing, but me not in at that. Because anywhere you go, when they say reggae music couldn't start in America and go nowhere, we're doing it from Bulwaukee, live bands, in the Bronx.
Yes.
They are Brooklyn, Fana Studio, and me carry Sister Carol, and me look on Jojo, Channel 1, and tell him go for Lone Ranger do M16 album. Me send him for Brigadier Jerry, Brigadier say, buy helicopter, give him the key. Me say go for King Yellow Man. Yellow Man turn the king. So all of them are going to talk about. If I know we static boy, Philip Smart, from Lesser.
Hey look, there's always somebody that was there first.
She want a lover, man. She want a lover, man. She want a lover, man. She want a lover, man.
Woman want good love. Now sympathize. Woman want good love every night. Right now. Love a girl. Nadine. Step up.
She want a lover, man.
Action. At a bag of mood. Sweet. Don't be ready, girl, them broke out. Action. At a bag of mood. Sweet. Don't be ready, girl, them broke out.
You think you're so fine.
Big chat no work, yeah, man, watch the time.
Stop playing with my mind.
Oh, man, no in a joke when she will want the wine.
You call me on the phone.
I know what a talking angel come down.
And now I want you home.
I tell Jackie, girl, me nah use no stone.
Action.
At a bag of mood.
Sweet.
Don't be ready, girl, them broke out.
Action.
At a bag of mood.
Sweet.
Don't be ready, girl, them broke out.
I need some action, tender satisfaction. My chemistry is flowing. Can you cause a chain reaction? I need some action, tender satisfaction. chemistry is flowing. Can you cause a chain reaction?
Bedroom bully, she no want that, you know. She want a man to caress her up like so. And I make love to woman like a war them a go. Woman a ball in a agony and all about. Just hardcore loving man, you must be insane. Woman no want no man to make she feel pain. Sweet loving in the falling rain. Sweet loving a mix of hard brain.
Action.
At a bag of mouth.
Sweet.
Loving with the girl them broke out.
Action.
At a bag of mouth.
Sweet.
Loving with the girl them broke out.
You think you understand?
Agony, pain and loving and no one.
I need a loving man.
But if I love it, don't be enough affection.
Sweet thoughts and tender care.
No, I don't want to come tear up or Brazil.
Can you erase my fear?
You're coming right over, so Nadine just beware of me.
Action.
At a bag of mouth.
Sweet.
Don't be make the girl them broke out.
Action.
At a bag of mouth.
Sweet.
Don't be make the girl them broke out.
I need some action. Tender satisfaction. My chemistry is flowing. Can you cause a chain reaction? I need some action. Tender satisfaction. My chemistry is flowing. Can you cause a chain reaction?
Bedroom bully, she no want that, you know. She want a man to caress her up like so. And I make love to woman like a war them a go. Woman a ball in a agony and all out. Just hardcore loving man, you must be insane. Woman no want no man to make she feel pain. Sweet loving in the falling rain. Sweet loving a mix of our brain.
Action.
That a bag of mouth.
Sweet.
Loving with the girl them broke out.
Action.
That a bag of mouth.
Sweet.
Loving with the girl them broke out.
I need some action. Tender satisfaction. My chemistry is flowing. Can you cause a chain reaction? I need some action. Tender satisfaction. My chemistry is flowing. Can you cause a chain reaction?
She want a lover man. She want a lover man. She want a lover man. She want a lover man.
Go on the road and chuck out your body. You just jump around and you know simplicity. You just push up your hand because the lazy. Yes, wind around and move your body. Now the man they must see, woman the bossy. Now the man the loving and every man want it.
Yeah, get off the tip if you're not legitimate. We were chatting reggae back in 80 Citadels. Boogie Down Productions get the party cranking. DJ KRS now with the Shabba ranking. Taking titles, breaking idols. The lyrics I chat in your head are like vital, so eat it up. Fresh styles we manifest. Sydney Dwayne Specialist, Shabba and KRS-One. In Japan is Ichiban. KRS Ichiban, #1 rap song. You try to do it and it turns out all wrong. You know why? Cause all the others specialize in plastic. Boogie Down Productions specialize in classics. Classical hip-hop, reggae, dancehall music. Industry rock by BDP. So girls, throw your hands in the air, put them down, turn around and move your body.
Hot and ready, woman, hot and ready, yes. All over the world, woman, hot and ready, right? Hot and ready, woman, hot and ready, yes. All over the world, woman, hot and ready. Woman have a right just to boss it, because woman they are every man mommy, and no man must not come take liberty. The woman have a right, yes, she boss it. All over the world, them hot and ready. England girls, them hot and ready. American girls, them hot and ready too. Jump around and move your body, yes. Push up your hand because you're hot and ready.
Yes, all hip-hop reggae crew, hold tight. KRS-One and Shabba ranks in the house.
Not the man them a see, woman be bossy. Now them have the loving and every man want it. Jamaican girl have the loving and jump around and keep whining. American girl them have the loving and jump around and keep whining. Yes, have the loving, you must get a ring, and have the loving, you do the right thing. Man them a see, woman be bossy. Now them have the loving and every man want it. Now the man them a see, woman be bossy. Now them have the loving.
Now listen, Shabba, you know you run reggae non-stop, and KRS-One is terrorizing hip-hop. You don't stop. The whole world is gonna rock along to this. My name is Chris, I put out the hits constantly. We in BDP found it necessary to rip the country. Not robberies because you don't want me to be boo.
Woman a bubble and Chris when them bubble and Granny a bubble and Shabba me the bubble and if a the woman don't put them in a trouble from the man them a see woman fi bossy and them have something where every man want it and the man them a see woman fi bossy and them have the loving where every man want it. Good loving every man want it. Good loving with good authority. Need a good woman fi take care of me. Chris need a woman fi treat it properly and the man them a see woman fi bossy and them have the loving where every man want it. You just
Welcome back, Record Store Day 2022, and we are here at VP Records, 170-19 Jamaica Avenue, in the heart of Jamaica, Queens. Not Kingston, Jamaica, but even though it feels like Kingston, Jamaica today, we got a crazy sound system outside, and this lady just blessed the sound system. Introduce yourself, let them know what time it is.
Hi, I go by the name of Empress Breeze.
Yes.
Yes.
So from what I understand, the PR people said this is the first time they had a female on the set?
First time.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What's with the problem? Well, how come there's no females out here doing it?
You know, honestly, there weren't a lot of ladies buying records back in the days. So I'm probably one of the few, if there is a vast majority that does play records, I'm probably one of the few that still has my record.
Oh, right. Okay, so because y'all are playing vinyl today.
Yes.
Right.
But there are a barrage of female DJs all over.
So some haven't made the transition like this gentleman right here. Do you play on the laptop still? Or do you?
Yeah. I'm day to day on the laptop. So today, but like she said, I kept my records. So I spent a couple of days dusting them off, digging them out, and going through the records for this, which is like a once a year special vinyl thing.
It's a big deal.
So wait a minute. You can't just start talking. Introduce yourself, brother. Because
Pardon me. I forgot where I am. First of all, thank you for having me. Thank you for having us. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here. My name is Max Glazer from the Federation Sound, Brooklyn, and we just Record Store Day out here in Queens.
So many different clubs that you've touched down on in Manhattan, in Brooklyn, in the Bronx, wherever. You know, but the vinyl still seems to be there, you know, and now when I came here today, people I didn't know they still made like Sean Paul and Spice and those type of records on vinyl, you know. Yeah. And I'm like, this is amazing. Who's buying these records?
Somebody.
Well, so are you buying new records?
No, I have not bought a record in years, in at least 10 or 15 years. And I said in my introduction that I used to hunt records, you know, back in the day.
Yeah.
You already know, Max, what it is. A rhythm come out, you might get some songs of the rhythm at one spot, and you got to go to the next spot. And it was a fun time to just, you know, go record shopping. But not anymore. It's a big, you know, it's a huge transition. Everything is all digital.
Yeah. Well, I still buy records. I buy 45s. I'm into 45. But, you know, if I see something that I'm really like, wow, I really feel like I should get that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I should not just walk by that and take that lightly, right? I should buy that.
But that's because you come from a generation of like treasuring the record as like the physical thing and the artwork and like there's all this. Like, I mean, that's one of the things for me that's really fun about playing records today, because I don't do it that much. Is like one, having the physical record in your hand, and then the labels and the pictures and the way the edges are worn. It's like it brings me right back to like 15. I mean, I think I probably stopped playing vinyl in 2005. 2004, 2005. But it takes me right back to it. That's even like the feel of the records and how they look and everything. So it's really fun to come out and do it.
And my wife looks at me like when I bring records in now, like, are we doing this? This is what we doing? You back to this again?
I'm familiar with that look.
Let's talk about the importance of Record Store Day, just in general, just to, you know, the DJs and the collectors, the people that make something valuable, you know, because somebody sampled it, or a producer, you know, we've been talking about hip hop today, you know, a Pete Rock or a Premier or, you know, whoever, Kanye sampled these records, and then all of a sudden I want to know who originally made that sound, you know. Who was that? That record Curtis Mayfield record, or whatever it was,
right.
a Marvin Gaye record, that these records, I think it's important that sampling especially, they kept these artists alive and the culture alive.
Definitely.
Do you go back and play old soul records?
Of course.
Yeah.
It's only because of this being a sound system culture why, I focus my collection and what I brought mainly in dancehall and reggae.
Yes.
But it's a huge deal seeing all these samples being, remanufactured in current music today.
Yeah. Max, you've been in the middle of the hip hop and Sting told me that he's not sure what dancehall is, so that's why I keep hesitating every go I go to say dancehall. And I'm reggae, let's put it that way. I said one of my earliest influences or introductions to the new wave was Shinehead, and I think a lot of people forget about Shinehead in the conversation.
I was just talking with someone about Shinehead maybe like 3 days ago, and also in digging through records for this today, stumbled across the Shinehead album and actually listened to the album like in the order, flipped it over. Was talking about Shinehead as like, especially as someone like me who's not Jamaican, didn't grow up in a West Indian community, but like came into reggae and dancehall through hip hop.
Yes.
So Shinehead was like a perfect like middle point and connector. And the way we got to talking about Shinehead was talking about Heavy D as someone who was like first. I just knew about Heavy D as an amazing rapper, like super fly dancer and all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And then like all of my favorite Heavy D records are his dancehall, his reggae records. The record with him and Buju from Who's the Man.
Yes.
Him and Super Cat and Frankie Paul.
Don Barron was here from Masters of Ceremony, which to me is a pre-Heavy D.
What? Don Barron is here?
He was here
today?
Yes.
You spoke to him?
I spoke to him. I don't know where he went.
That's one of the names that I'll bring up when I'm like, all right, nobody, like obviously Don Barron, but when I'm talking to like anyone my age or younger, I'm like, yo, do you know about Masters of Ceremony?
Right.
Because it's also where Pooba came from.
Yeah, that's where Pooba comes from.
But so Don Barron and Just Ice. If you want to go back.
I got to go get Don Barron. You guys talk about what's happening right now. I'm going to go get Don Barron.
What's going on outside? Romaine Virgo touches things?
I don't know. We're in charge of the show.
Oh,
no,
nice.
I didn't even, we get to take over Ralph's show.
Yeah. Video
I'll take
music
it.
box.
I'll take it.
You gonna keep singing?
I don't think Romaine Virgo didn't touch it yet. I know Johnny Osbourne is here, Red Fox is here, Screechy Dan is here, Lady Ann is here.
Nadine Sutherland is also here.
Is she?
She is.
I did not see her yet. That's another one of those people that I'm always like I never met her, but I've seen her a few times. Like I'm always in awe of Nadine Sutherland.
Know what? With Nadine Sutherland, what I love about her now. We know her from Action. We know her from the Dickie remix with Buju. When you see her perform, it's like she's 25 years old. She's still moving in time, moving better than me. I've got to admit that.
Certainly better than me, for sure. No, that's amazing, and it's really nice to see everyone come out. It's super fun. Like I don't know about for you, but like for me to get to play on that sound system.
Oh, it's a big deal. Yellowbird.
Yeah, and it's only one of the 3 stacks, and you can hear. We were joking. I was like, I heard you from 5 blocks away. Like, and then it's only one of the stacks. But to get to play on that, just like this one playing the records, because again, I do the same thing. Like, I'm not playing records normally. So to play on that sound and to be playing vinyl, just like the sound and the feel of it is amazing.
Hello.
Don Barron.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Original. I'm sorry. Thank y'all.
No, please. We kept it going. I was just telling Ralph how like as someone like me, someone that got into hip hop and then hip hop got me into reggae.
Right.
Masters of Ceremony and you are like a huge part of that era. You and Just Ice.
Yes.
If we go like, we started talking about Shinehead, so we're like taking it back. But how did you bring that to rap back then?
Well, what originally happened was, my family, I'm from Jamaica, my family, everybody, grew up in, well, I can talk English or American, depending on how you want, Jamaican. But anyway, grew up in America, so I grew up around hip hop and reggae. And at the time, that was back in like 82, one of my friends came to me and said, you got a voice, you got a
good, heavy voice. So I said, yeah, I love the hip hop. And he said, boy, you're Jamaican. You better go and do some reggae. So, long story short, I just started getting into both. And then Pooba one day, I used to do jams up in New Rochelle where we originally come from. We're from Nauru, they call it. So we used to do jams up there and stuff in the park, the reggae jam, just like this. I used to DJ for a sound called Underworld International. And my man Mikey G was the selector, and we used to go out in the park and do free shows in New Rochelle for the people. And we traveled all around the East Coast, up and down, doing sets. Come out to the Bronx, downbeat and all those type of sound, and all those things, just dancehall. Pooba saw me one day in New Rochelle, and we knew each other for years. We distantly related, really, but that's not a big deal. But we knew each other for years, and he saw me walking down the street one day and said, hey, we're doing this song, and I heard you out in the park doing your thing, and I know you get down. Come and check it out and see if you like it. So we went by, and I listened to what he was playing, and I said, if you change it to the taxi rhythm, the taxi, do-doom, doom, doom, do-doom, I said, I'll eat it up for you. So, he changed it to that, and the rest was history.
Wow.
Yeah, really.
So Pooba says,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say you said,
Right.
Pooba says, that's where Heavy D got to stop.
All right, see, so honestly, this is something for years that people come to me about, even I'm not on social media heavy. I'm only on Facebook. I don't go all over the place because I'm not into that type of thing, really. I go on Facebook because I know I can get up to people like Ralph. A lot of my peers are on there. You can go down the line, Diamond D, and there's a whole bunch because, we come from the same stable, Diamond D, as a matter of fact, from Strong City Records. So anyway, with Heavy, what happened with that was, I'm from New Rochelle, he's from Mount Vernon. So they're basically side by side. Pelham separated us, little thin sliver of a town, separated us. So it was really, we bordered each other almost. When I did Sexy in '86. But way before I did Sexy, I was doing diddlies. I was inspired really by Brigadier Jerry, Rankin Joe, people like that. I used to love Johnny Ringo, Lord Sassafras, people like that, I come from that era, I used to live in Jamaica where I live, even to this day, my house. I live up in Mona Heights, just up from Halfway Tree. Halfway Tree is where Skate Line was at. So if you know anything about reggae, you know Skate Line, right?
Yeah.
Right, Skate Line Disco. All right, Gemini, Archie, Ringo, Welton Irie and them. So those are the things that I grew up on, that type of music. So that's why my music is a little more cultural, a little more not so ghetto street. I come from a little more of a cultural place. And to get back to Heavy. So anyway, I was doing it a long time. And when I did it on the record, it wasn't even something I was trying to do to make it a thing. It was just what I normally did. Caught on, people gravitated to it, and then long story short, I heard Heavy come out with a song, say we got our own thing. So I hear the song and I'm like, okay, I hear you. I don't own the rights to diddly. Anyone can diddly. You can diddly, I can diddly, you can diddly. I don't own the rights to it, you know what I'm saying? But what I do know, nobody can diddly like me. And I'll leave it at that. Because if you want to hear me, one diddly 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 down, Baron. One diddly 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 Doctor Who. One diddly 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 down, Baron. Who we talking about? There you go. And at the end of the show, I used to do this long diddly. And I don't know, but, maybe Heavy came and saw and kind of because I would get a great response.
Small town.
Yeah, I would get a great response at the end of the show because I would and I'd be all over the place at the end of the song. So, anyway, I just think it was inspiring. They say imitation is a great form of, flattery, if you want to say it that way. So I didn't take it too hard. May he rest in peace, Me and him never really had no beef. As a matter of fact, me and Heavy never discussed because we weren't really around each other a lot. As much as we lived close. He had his camp, I had my camp, and I ran more with Dreads and Jamaicans, and I was more in that era, and he's more running around with the hip-hop scene. Yeah, so that's what it really was. Yeah. Oh, the mic. Yeah, okay.
All right, we hear you. You talk loud.
Yeah, my voice is heavy. That my voice projects, it's heavy.
As you saw the music progressing after, the Master Ceremonies record, then, so many different artists start, we talked earlier about people in the beginning, in the early days, didn't want to say they was from Jamaica because they didn't want people to know they wasn't American.
Yeah.
You know, there was a time that it was like that.
There was a stigma.
Yeah, but when you pop up on a Masters of Ceremony record and you doing it, people were like, "That's me."
Yes. Yeah. I think I represented a lot of people at that time.
Right.
And in all reality, I did music because I love it. When I signed with Strong City, it was because at the time I wanted to get my music out to someone, let more people hear. I really didn't do it for the money because back then, you know, we weren't getting paid like that.
Yeah.
These artists come out now, they make millions of dollars. You're lucky to make 100,000 back then if you know, at that point, you really was, I'm saying. You know, we were early. You know, just after the first wave, we were like the second wave. So when I started doing the music, I really started doing it for the love. So I left the game. Like, as you see, I kind of like disappeared.
Yeah.
Biz, may he rest in peace, Biz Markie. You know, over the last years.
He pulled you out?
Yeah, Biz would make me come. And like anywhere I go where he was at, he made me go on stage. And every so often I do an acapella version of Sexy and the crowd would go crazy.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, Sexy hasn't been performed by our group since 1987.
Wow.
Yeah, as a group.
Hey, look, when I told Max, I said, you know, Don Barron is here. And he looked at me like, what?
Yeah, I rarely come out.
No, because this is exactly what we were talking about, and I was like, it's a kind of just like a lesser recognized era of hip hop, but also of lesser recognized era of the connection of Jamaica, New York, and that being what, like, you know, Herc.
Yeah.
And just so many people, not just Jamaican, like Red Alert and Flash with Caribbean backgrounds.
Of course.
And so like you guys and your group are a crucial part of that story.
Yes.
Like for sure, but it's in, as you said, that era that was not, things weren't so popular and so known and so big.
A lot of artists are now.
We appreciate it.
Yeah. Yes. One last thing I would say is that onto that fact, you know, when we came out and we started doing Sexy, like we had a song on the album called Redders. I don't know how many people are familiar with our album. But we had a song called Redders Posse, which was a song was really my crew. Redders was my crew. That was my posse. And me and Pooh was in the studio one day, he was playing with some beats, and I was humming the boom, 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 the boom. Long story short, we put that together, and that was really like an R&B song. We were really kind of singing, chanting on that, and not really rapping. You know, Pooh was like, girls now, you gotta be ready, masters of the ceremony, rock. See, people didn't know Pooh sang, did y'all? Yeah. You thought he was just hardcore, but Pooh, Pooh does that. Pooh was very talented. Yes. Don't get it twisted. You know, Pooh was very talented, but we had songs like that, you know, and then we had songs that appealed to like, you know, they did Dynamite and One to the Knot, which is more hardcore hip hop, you know, and the songs that we did together, like I said, was a multitude of different things. We were trying to incorporate all types of music. We weren't trying to be just hip hop, which now, what does everybody do?
Right.
They do that.
Same thing, yeah.
But when we were doing that, they used to look at me and say, hey, you're not supposed to do that because you're a rapper. Or they were putting us in a box, in a cage. They was putting us in a corner. And I'm like, that's not me. I used to have to go down to MCA Records, which was the parent company of Strong City. And, you know, not say fight or battle, but go back and forth with them to say, hey, you guys aren't moving me the way to get me to where I need to be, because I know I'm different.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna try and treat me like everybody else, it ain't gonna work.
Well, I feel like even at that time, the punk rock dudes was doing different things.
Yes.
And hip hop and punk rock was parallel. So if the punk rock dudes can do it, why can't hip hop try to, you know, try to change and do some different things? I think that we were seeing it.
Right.
You know, so I'm like, I understand.
And Run DMC was doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They were killing it.
Yeah.
You know, and nothing for nothing. I love reggae and I love hip hop.
Yeah.
But if I put them together, reggae is way up here for me. Not distant hip hop.
Yeah.
But I come from reggae.
Yeah.
I'm Jamaican, you know what I'm saying? So I love my reggae, but I love my hip hop. You know, when Kool Herc started over at Sedgwick, in that first party, right? He bought the style of Jamaica. That's what he bought. Because in Jamaica, you had people like Daddy U-Roy and King Stitch and those types who was doing the, you know, chanting on the rhythms. Not so much how we do now. It's a little different, but the similar thing. So he saw that, and in Jamaica, you use 2 turntables and, you know, switch from record to record. As he's doing out there now, it's the same thing.
Same thing.
So he just took hip hop, you know, like not hip hop, but disco records, you know, and dance records, and you know, the rest is history from there. But he saw it in Jamaica. That all started from Jamaica.
Yes.
You know, most people don't, not most, because a lot of people do. But there's many people, if I look at them and I talk to them, they talk to me, and they say, Don, you know, what do you think about hip hop? I say, yeah, I always love hip hop because, you know, it started from what we do. And some people look at me like, you're crazy. And I don't even get into the argument because I'm like, just check the history, you'll know.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
I don't like to go back and forth with people because you have a right to your opinion, but just get your facts right.
Yeah, but also opinions are opinions and facts are facts.
Just get the facts. That's what I'm saying. Just get the facts right.
And the fact that he was actually there. It's like,
right.
It's like people tell me when I'm talking, they're talking to me about video music. Like, no, actually, I was the guy holding the mic. I was the guy making the announcements. That was me. Oh, right.
And nothing for nothing. I must say, if it wasn't for this man, no, it's real. If it wasn't for this man, I'm not saying come in front of his face.
Yes, sir.
This is real. If it wasn't for this man, anyone who knows me or knows my music wouldn't probably even know it. It's because of him. When he started pumping the video, and he'd pump it on a regular.
Every day.
He'd pump it on, I said, I'm gonna go watch my video. You know? But MTV refused to play it.
They didn't get it.
You know? MTV was like, no, what's that? We don't play that type of stuff. But they were playing Run DMC and LL in there.
Right.
You know, I'm like, okay, well, all right. I can't fight you on that. You have a right. That's your business.
That's right.
You know, but Ralph was pumping it, and in the radio, even in the beginning, they weren't too gravitating to it because it was different.
Yeah.
And when they started playing, a little small fact, you know, there's two versions of Sexy.
No.
You didn't know that?
No.
Okay, so there's one with me by myself. And there's one with the Masters on the 12-inch. The flip side is me by myself.
Oh, you're right.
Okay?
You're right.
So, and that, let me tell you, that all came about. I didn't even plan those lyrics or nothing. That was me just chanting off the head, just having some fun on the music, and it just ended up being a record, really. You know what I'm saying? The version with me by myself, you know? The one with the Masters, I kind of plotted a little better to fit the song they were doing.
But that's that Skateland style, like you always style. That it's just it's improvisation. All that you just
exactly.
You just
but
do
the thing about Sexy, they started playing my version first on the radio.
Oh wow!
The first month they were playing my version.
Yeah.
Until someone's at the record label said, no, flip it over. it's the other side you're supposed to be playing.
Well, see, New York is unique.
Yeah.
You know, like you trying to get a record like that played across the country.
Yeah.
Well, even if it was nobody was feeling hip hop like that.
No.
Nor was they feeling reggae or dancehall or whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
So it was a fight. It was a battle.
It was a battle.
Unless people really knew.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
What's crazy is that every time I see Little Seeds from Junior Mafia, he goes, "Yo, play that Sexy joint, Ralph."
Oh, get out of here, yeah.
He says, play that Sexy joint. He said, I'll be watching on Saturday night. Play that Sexy joint. I said, what you know about it? He said, yeah, we all knew about that. When Sexy came on, we just got me big. We all got crazy.
I never knew that. See, you're telling me something I didn't know because Biggs them came after me.
Yeah.
You know, by the time they came out, I was kind of stepped away from everything.
That's right.
So, you know, I never really, even though C's, I met him once or twice, but, you know, I didn't know him like that, so it was just a give love and kind of keep moving thing.
Yeah.
But to know that they love my music, that's a beautiful thing because I didn't know if hip-hop would gravitate to what I was doing.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know if reggae would gravitate to what I was doing because I was like right in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, Shinehead, a lot of people compared me to Shinehead, right? But the thing with Shinehead that I said that was different, and I love Shinehead because Shinehead come from a pedigree of people he worked with. He worked with Briggy and, you know, Sister Nancy was his people, you know, and, you know, he worked with people who know what they're doing. And he's a very talented, he could sing, he could rap, you know. And I can, you know, I don't say I'm sing, but you hear me in my, you know, I can do my thing. So the difference is, though, is that Shinehead used to rap on reggae music.
Right.
He used to rap on reggae music. I did reggae on rap music.
Right.
So even though it's comparable,
it
was really two different things in all of itself.
Yeah.
Because people used to always try and say, you and Shinehead did a thing on us in the New York Times. They wrote this article about hip hop and reggae, and you know, they were talking about me and Shinehead, and almost like they were trying to pit me and him against each other. But I knew Shinehead, you know, not as a great friend, but we knew each other. Where I used to run him on Baychester all the time, you know. So we talk and stuff. So we always like, man, that's foolishness. We pay it no mind.
Yeah.
But the thing is that with Shinehead, I saw that Shinehead was kind of getting the audience with what he was doing. So I figured there was a lane for me to do what I was doing, because we were doing it around the same time, you know? And then when KRS came, you know, that took it to another level, you know, especially with the Bridge Is Over, you know, with the battle and everything associated with that song. It made it a big song, and people started loving it. And, you know, Chris is super talented. I'm a big fan of KRS. You know, I think a lot of people would think that, you know, you hate and you hate. No, I love music. If you make good music, I'm gonna like your song.
That's right.
If you make whack music, I'm gonna tell you music is whack. Right. I ain't gonna tell you no. That's a lie.
You just think it to yourself.
I just think it to myself. Because I can't tell you your music is whack. Because I don't know if someone else loves it.
That's right.
So for me to tell you your music is whack is like someone saying my music is whack.
Right.
People love it, some don't. It is what it is, you know? But there's some artists that I think that are who help take reggae to another level, and Chris is definitely one. You just have to say that, you know. I think, as we said, Shinehead.
I mean, KRS for sure. I can tell you some of this is what we were talking about. This is why Ralph went to get you. Is KRS and Boogie Down Productions is like a huge, massive push for me. Learning about that and then wanting to learn all of the reggae stuff, and then even beyond how much he used in the records, like on every album. KRS Live, they would always do, like he's got the live Hardcore Worldwide album. There's like a 3-song medley and another one that are just straight over rhythm, just Kenny Parker playing. They do over Koof. And just like a bunch of, so just like putting that in front of a rap audience. Me, when I was 17, it's like
he paid homage.
Yeah, like it stuck. I never left.
And you know, and again, I think the best thing that came out of the reggae hip hop fusion is that to this day, you still hear dancehall.
Yes.
And you still hear hip hop.
That's right.
It obviously worked.
Yeah.
Because, listen, right now they're out there running some tune. Ralph said he knew he'd find me out there, and he was right. Because I could have stood in here and, look, I love to do this interview stuff because it's part of what we did. Yeah. But I don't crave for it.
Yes, sir.
So if I would have stood out there and Ralph would have just said, I'm glad you came, brother, this and that, it'd have been fine. Because I didn't tell him I was coming here to do nothing. I said, he asked me, he said, hey, you fathered this.
That's right.
So I said, okay, let me come out. I'll support. I don't live in New York anymore. I live in an undisclosed location, another state. You know what I'm saying? but I am in New York a lot. You know, I'm here a lot.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, if I can come like this weekend, I was going to be here. So I said, of course I'm going to come out. You know, and I think it was one of the things you had in Queens I wanted to get to, but I just couldn't get to because I had to go out of the country at that time. But if Ralph asked me, I'm coming, because like I said again, without this man,
yes, sir,
you wouldn't even know who I am.
Thank you, brother.
For real.
Make some noise for Don Barron.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Ralph, always.
Look, I know you want to get out there and listen to some more of those tunes. We're going to take a break. We here, it's Record Store Day. Thank you, Max. Thank you. Oh man, Empress. What's your social media? So
Empress Breeze 1 on Instagram, all social media handles. Empress Breeze 1. Awesome. First lady to be here.
That's right. Many more.
And if they want to get me, they can get me on Facebook, Don Barron. Only place you'll find me on social media.
Awesome.
Yes.
Record Store Day 2022. We'll be right back, y'all. Okay. We're gonna play some heavy beat. And then after that, we're gonna play Master Ceremony.
Overweight and all the heavy D. She's the overweight and all the heavy D. She's the overweight and all the heavy D.
In my crib and I'm cold maxing. Call up a cutie, I'm in the mood for relaxing. Get my phone book from top of the shelf, I dial 66. I better keep it to myself. Call up a cutie with the triple star next to it. She says hello, we conversate a bit. Invite her over for a candlelight dinner. Believe me when I tell you that this girlie is a winner. Shortly after that I hear the doorbell ring. Turn on the radio, Anita Baker starts to sing. Open up the door and I kiss her on the cheek. She's so nice, polite, petite, so sweet. Sit her on the couch and remove her coat. Squat next to her, clear my throat. Whisper in her ear, tell her what she wants to hear. Let her know to have no fear. Hand me these hair and girls, they love me.
'Cause he's the overweight and all the
the Imperial overweight lover MC Heavy D. Now that I've introduced myself correctly, do you have a moment to spend some time with me? Would you like a drink, maybe a pina colada, a strawberry daiquiri, some wine from Havana? It really doesn't matter, the choice is yours. And when you do what you drink, we'll take a walk outdoors, gaze at the stars, walk down the boardwalk, sit by the beach and talk lovers talk. Make a quick call on my cellular phone, send for the limousine to pick us up and take us home. An enjoyable night. The mood was smooth and everything was alright. It may be hard for you, but it's easy for me. Cause girls, the girls, they love me.
Cause he's the overweight lover, Heavy D.
Girls, they love me.
Cause he's the overweight lover, Heavy D.
Girls, they love me.
Cause he's the overweight lover, Heavy D.
Girls, they love me. And Troy went to a disco. Word. Pete Rockenseal Smooth was on stage drinking Cisco. Damien had his girl Michelle. Of course. Craig Boogie had a girl that I never seen before. ADF was home making a beat. Nick T was at the crib on 120th Street. Tootie had a cutie that was dope. Ruby Lou, Quan, and Little Dallas cracking jokes. Rap had the dance floor packed. Joe Rap was in the corner looking mean and he was strapped. Tommy George, Jeff and Butter was on the spot, buying champagne for the crew, $100 a pop. Me, I was casing the joint, clocking all the people as they stared and point. It feels really good to be Heavy D, because the girls, they love me. Girls, they love me.
Cause he's the overweight lover, Heavy D.
Girls, they love me.
Cause he's the overweight lover, Heavy D.
Girls, they love me.
Cause he's the overweight lover, Heavy D.
Girls, they love me. Candlelight dinner and violence. Keep the girlie smiling. But when upon the set, I don't drink, just profiling. Run through the last check. Look upon the Rolex. Her clock says 12. My clock says 7. You know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, I think you'll figure it out. It ain't that I'm conceited or nothing. I just ain't pressed for fronting and bluffing. Cause
Cause he's the overweight lover, Heavy D.
girls, they love me.
Cause he's the overweight lover, Heavy D.
Girls, they love me.
Cause he's the overweight lover, Heavy D.
Girls, they love me.
Cause he's the overweight lover, Heavy D.
Girls, they love me.
Doctor Who. We're talking about masters of ceremony. So hey, young girl, and you can deal with me. Cause this is the way you call Tursky. And whether in the Bronx or a Nexxt and Z, I really want to know what that you feel sexy. Higher than the highest mountain. Jamalalaman and deeper than the Delaware Sea. That's all I really love you. Say, oh darling, come here, say you're sexy. Grandpapa, won't you tell them why?
Hey pretty mama, you look sweet. I mean, you're the type of girl that I've been dying to meet. Beautiful than a day in July or May. Now one look and I'm booking you. Make me say, ha, good God Almighty, look at Miss Funky figure, treat special, she ain't with nobody. Super sexy, sassy with the act so together. Looking slim, steady and trim in her pure clever. Fly as can be, there's no one flyer. Altitude of your beauty is what I desire. A body uncomparable, a face so pretty. Don't front, let's get to the nitty-gritty. Remember the day, girl, when I first met you, thinking up ideas on how I can get you. Girl, you look good in that $1 million sweater. I said to myself, yo, I best to go get her. So I walked over, as cool as can be. I put my arm around your baby and your girl tried to bite me. For what reason? I don't have a clue. But the way she looks, honey, her nickname should be Doodoo. I had my cousin with me, and him she tried to kick it. Her hair was so naughty that Wilson couldn't take it. You know what she said to him? You never guess. She said, with her nasty dragon breath, so ya gotta because we snapped on your friend, and the fun that we was having had only begun. Then you said, I'm not going for it this evening. If you wanna play games with Grand Pooba Maxwell, I'm leaving. Well, go ahead and leave, and may your plane hit Tarzan as he swings from his tree. Cause I really couldn't care if you was ever coming back. Grand Pooba Maxwell will be right in his lap. Sexy, baby doll, you're so slut. Sensating, pulsating, captivating, perfect 10. You love Ben. Every time that I see you, you're never alone. Some boys begging for the number. Your eyes just so bright, they're like an awesome sight. Never seen a girl like you, day or even night. One glance in your direction, that's all it took. Your body has made everybody look. More curves than an S. Yes, God did bless you with the personality to match your finesse. The Egyptian queen that's seen on the Nile, with the brown complexion and the magical smile. In a beauty contest, you would win by a mile. With a great win, class, grace, and style. Girl, if we could possibly get together, Dr. Who will do this forever and ever. Never let you go, show you a night on the town. When you're feeling down, girl, I'll be around to get motivational, inspirational. Need to succeed when you're feeling low. Give you a love injection to get up and go. So there's no need to question what you now know. Angel in disguise, please be my savior. I love you, girl, you're my favorite flavor. That's what I do for your sexy touch. Don't hesitate, I can't wait, I want you that much.
Girl, you are sexy. Say that is what you are. Say no one in between. Say me and you are one. So just sail away with me now to another world, and we'll rely on each other.
Sexy is the type of girl you seem to be. Crazy, baby doll, that's what you're driving me. She is a type of girl you can't pass by. Tell her, why do you think that she's fine, girl? Just one thing that kills me the most is when girls know you want them, but they play high post. But it doesn't bother me. I think it's rather funny, cause so far my record's like 20 out of 20. Now, I like the girls in the summertime when it's hot, dry and sticky, but they still look fine. Busting out in all fashions of possession pride. Hypnotizing everybody, you got to realize, girl, I got to have you, baby. You know I need you. You see the Grand Pooba Maxwell, I won't mislead you. I'm not a perpetrator and I kid you not. But if you play hard to people, then you won't get got.
She's fat.
Sexy, a baby doll, you're so sexy. I had a dream last night that you came my way in a red nightgown, no negligee. Now you approached me slowly, I was hypnotized. Pants levitated to an uncontrollable rise. Girl, I was excited, better yet delighted. Uncontrollable desire, I just couldn't fight it. I couldn't believe that it happened.
What's your name?
Minister, Prime Minister,
Maxwell.
You're the little definition to the meaning of fly. There's only 4 letters, girl. S-E-X-Y. I never thought about another. In time you will discover that I'm not a gigolo or playboy, just a lover. Sexy is the type of girl you seem to be. Crazy, baby doll, that's what you're driving me. She is a type of girl you can't pass by. Tell her what do you think she's so fly.
This is Maxwell, Dan Barron, and who in the party? Lord, I say she sexy. Hey, Lord, I say she hairy. Well, you know what? Her name could Abby, her name could Cherie, name could Chantel, name could Marie. Tell her, you know, and the girl named Evie. I tell her everybody in the freeway Posse, you know they're sexy. Hey, Park Place Posse is sexy. Lincoln Park Massive is sexy. In the Jets, every girl is sexy. All over New York, they well irie. I love the girl I'm on.